What's up, sitters? This is Tyler Rolfe along with Joey Edge,
Sitters, what's good?
Chris Martinez,
What's happening, man?
and special guest host Clayton Steinrook in the building.
What's up, guys?
Yeah.
We are from Porch City.
Yeah, good job, Tyler. Much better than the first go around. This is take number 2. The first one was not so great.
It's a Thanksgiving miracle.
It is a Thanksgiving miracle, which is great. It's good. We're thankful for a second chance at this thing.
We just have a lot to be thankful for, Joey.
So much to be thankful for. Mainly, maybe like I said, a second go at this thing, and we're gonna run it. We're gonna see where it goes.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. If you're listening right now, Thanksgiving Eve. If you're listening on the podcast on Thursday, then happy Thanksgiving to you from the front porch. We absolutely we appreciate all that you do.
You know what else I'm thankful for?
What about
that? I'm thankful for Clayton. Clayton comes over on a whim. Text him at 8:26 this evening, and he did not respond. He was apparently eating supper at 8:26.
He was in the chat though, and that's how we got this.
Well, he
fixed.
was also on Twitter, but he didn't think I knew that. But it's okay.
No, this is alternative news. Alternative facts are happening right now.
Yeah, you can say what you want to. All I know is I texted you did not answer. You hopped in the chat and then said, "Why didn't anybody text me?" Well, I did, but it's all good. Thankful you're here now. We'll talk Melvin Gordon here in a little bit, but not yet. Yeah. We're going to get to that at some point, I promise. But before that, Chris, we're going to talk about JW Weaponry because he is the premier gun store of the South, where they are always loaded, especially this Friday.
Yes, sir. They're having a gigantic Black Friday sale. We have the ad along the bottom of the live chat. If you're in the live chat, you can obviously see that. If you are a OG podcaster only, we encourage you to hop into the live chat, or you can always catch it the next day.
Yeah, even if you're a podcaster, typically, you should probably go and like find the video on YouTube and check out the ad on the bottom of the screen right here for JW Weaponry.
Yeah, John always blows it out on Black Friday. He does a heck of a job.
What a wordplay there.
You like that?
Yeah,
you like
solid.
that? So big time Black Friday deals. Joey, you're a little closer to the screen. You could probably help me there. I know for sure they have the 3 Magpul magazines, 3 for $30. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I'm a math teacher, and that averages out to $10 a piece, which is really, really good deal. You want to go ahead and get those high capacity mags sooner than later.
Clayton, can you see the other ones over there?
I can see the buy 9 get 1 free. I can't see the fine print down there.
Yeah,
shotgun shells.
Shotgun shells. Yeah, buy 9 get 1 free. I know these have. John has a Smith & Wesson AR-15. I think it was what does that say? $479, I believe.
Yes.
$749.
Oh yeah, I was dyslexic.
$749. The other one, the
I thought it said that too. I swear it said that the first time.
Is $469.
$469. This it's M&P Smith & Wesson. That was $749, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a heck of a deal there. Go see those people. They'll take care of you. We wouldn't recommend calling them. They're going to be really, really busy. I've been there for that sale before, and I can tell you it's wide open.
Yeah.
If you call them, of course, they'll do their best to answer you. But the best case scenario is if you go into the store, see them, see what it's about, take advantage of the sale. Whether you're Christmas shopping or getting it for yourself, go ahead and go see the fine people. Joey, do you have the number just in case somebody's not able to get there?
Absolutely. The number is 386-243-8587 to the wonderful people at JW Weaponry. But like Chris said, make sure you stop by on Friday. Best sale on guns in the area, I promise. Make it a point to get there. It'll be worth it.
Yeah, they always have the best price anyways, but especially on days like Black Friday. And John, they really work really hard to try and find discounts for you guys with not taking too much of an L.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. We got a lot on the show tonight, Chris.
Yeah, before we jump into it, Joey, we want to make sure you're liked, subscribe, and have the notifications on. So that's the big one, especially for nights like tonight where, look, guys, we're in charge of a lot, but we're not in charge of the internet.
No.
And so we do the best that we can with what we got. And Rolf is a magician. He's excellent. He worked his magic. And it's a Thanksgiving miracle, honestly, that we're here right now for you guys.
You guys are being very kind to me tonight. I appreciate that.
We won't pull the curtains back. But, yeah, no, make sure you like, subscribe, have notifications on in case something like tonight happens. You catch the round 2 version.
Big fan of the round 2 version. Yes, we'll talk a lot about Florida State. That's the main beef of the show.
Yep.
And then we'll discuss a little bit of just random college football stuff, some interviews, some different things, a couple of comparisons, and then just some NFL talk. And of course, we got Clayton here, so we'll talk about Melvin Gordon, like I said.
Yeah, Denver connoisseur.
Yeah, Denver connoisseur.
All things Denver.
That's right.
Let's jump into our results from last week.
Yep. Let's do that. Everybody was 2-1 last week. There was a 2-1-1, but we don't count the one. It's too much for him.
You said you were going to beat JT
I did say
head-to-head?
I guaranteed I would beat JT head-to-head.
But you didn't.
No, we tied.
You tied.
Yeah.
And you said tie goes to the longest sitting co-host?
That's what I said, yeah.
Okay.
So, therefore, I did win. I did guarantee victory, and I did win.
We did fact check that. It was in the bylaws in the very beginning when he signed his,
the co-host seat person
disclosure.
Thing. Yeah.
He signed that. He didn't read the fine print. That's on him. JT, I love you, but you got to read the fine print. It gets
That's
you.
right.
So, anyways, 2-1-1. I have a 1-game lead on Brad.
Yep.
You're currently sitting in the caboose here, the back of
We call it third place. We don't want to call it last. Call it third place.
That's a podium finish.
That's right. I'm on the podium right now.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
It is a podium finish.
Thank you, Clayton.
You are on the
This is
podium.
why he's here.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there at last.
Clayton is trying to get a job right now with that.
Hey, he's well on his way. Brad?
We'll give you an application because there's an opening. Just kidding, Brad. Just kidding. You're not in here anyways, but maybe not. Anyway, so we are currently sitting here. We got a big week to pick.
Big week.
What
Yep.
games do we got, Joey?
We have Florida at Florida State, of course. Florida State is minus 9.5 at home. We have Michigan at Ohio State. Ohio State is minus 7.5 at home. We have Oregon at Oregon State. Oregon State is catching 4. And then we have Notre Dame at USC. USC is minus 5.5. Short spread there for USC at home.
Yeah. I'll take the over. Anyways, we'll go. You and me will pick Florida State last.
We'll probably just pick it during the segment, right? Don't you think?
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant. After the fact,
Okay.
we won't pick it right now. We'll make you stay tuned to see what that number is.
Yeah, we'll let Brad pick it because he's cool like that and he sent us his picks without being asked actually. So that kept his job for a minute. Florida State is minus 9.5, and he took Florida State. So let's go to the next one. Michigan at Ohio State. Do you want to go first?
Not really. No, on this one. I'll take the next one.
Of course you will. Well, I'll let Brad go first again,
Yes.
and
He's got Michigan.
he picked Michigan plus 7.5.
Where are you at on that?
I'm gonna let Clayton go.
I like Ohio State. First of all, it's in the horseshoe, if that's what they still call it. I haven't heard anyone call it that in 10 years.
That's what it's called. You're good.
Yep.
I think that this is going to be C.J. Stroud's defining Heisman game. I wouldn't be surprised if he absolutely blows his passing yards line out of the water. Probably 3 or 4 touchdowns, I would think, as well. I think this is his signature. Each Heisman has their game or their moment, and I think this is that for him.
I like
That's
it.
bold. I like it, too.
Yeah, where are you at on this?
No, it's not. That's not how we're doing this. Yeah,
I
good effort.
all I can do is try.
Yeah.
I'm with Clayton. I like Ohio State. I like Ohio State big.
Really?
I do. I like Ohio State big.
No. Give me the Wolverines, Harbaugh. He needs this one. He needs this one.
He does need this one. He
He
needed
hasn't-
it last year and got it. I think he needs it again this year, and I don't think he gets it this time.
Yeah, I think a lot does depend on the Blake Corum's health. Seems as if he's a go. I don't think he's 100%.
He definitely doesn't seem to be 100%.
But I don't think there's a whole lot of running backs in week 12 that are 100%.
That's valid, too.
if we're keeping it a buck.
Yeah, that's
so,
a good point.
I am going to go Michigan. I think they run the ball. I think they do a decent job of stopping the run.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right, we got Oregon at Oregon State. Oregon State is plus 4. I'll let you want me to go first?
No, make Brad go first.
All right, Brad's going first. He's got Oregon minus 4. Clayton, you're the guest, so you got to go next. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, I'm going to take Oregon State plus 4 for really no other reason other than the fact that I've been the biggest Bo Nix hater since he was at Auburn. I think he's completely overrated. Kind of proving me wrong this year, but I can't jump that bandwagon, and I wish the worst for him and Oregon.
Touche.
Can't argue those words.
No. You want me to go?
Yep, you go.
This is going to happen again. I know it. Give me Dan Lanning and the Ducks. Yeah, I know.
Yep.
We're tag teaming this thing. Me and Brad versus you and Clayton here.
That's what we're doing.
Yep.
I'm going Oregon State at home. Biggest game in Oregon State's probably the last 10 years, I would say, in Corvallis. I think Corvallis is rocking. They affect Bo Nix a little bit more than they should probably, but give me Oregon State at home to not just cover, to win outright.
Okay, wow. How about that?
By the way, can I just say that I hate that Joey and I are tag teaming this?
Yeah, I was going to say, buddy.
As well you should, my
that
friend.
has to be some sort of jinx. Like, I have to feel less confident about my picks now.
I'm only just piggybacking off of you. Whatever you pick, that's what I'm doing, just so you know. So that's just the way it is. Last game of the day or the weekend, USC at home is giving 5.5 to Notre Dame. Brad is taking USC at home.
I just went before you for Oregon game, so you can go third, I guess, but I'm going last. Clayton, what do you got?
I'll start again.
Yep.
I'll take USC minus the 5.5. I think on the edge of a playoff berth, they kind of have to win to have any sort of chance at getting in. I think Lincoln Riley has proved that he can make the playoff before, and I don't think that they let this opportunity slip through their fingers.
You want me to go?
Yeah, I do.
I'm going to go I feel like it should be at least 11 or 12 to USC. And so I feel like Vegas knows more than me. So I'm going to take Notre Dame.
Yep, that was a curveball. Did you watch the USC-UCLA game?
Not much. I did not.
It was actually a really, really good football game.
You text us that and then put it in the show notes.
Yeah, it was like I was watching it live. It was the end of the night, so like it was late football. So I love that.
Right.
When you get to watch like football till like midnight, past midnight.
Yep.
So I was on the back porch, cigars, cold drink, good times, really, really good times, wonderful weather, just really good football. Yes, sir.
Where was I?
Where were you?
I was here.
I wasn't at my house as I'm in-laws. You're invited over there anytime you
But
want.
okay.
I didn't.
I agree, but
I didn't extend the invite. You're right.
No,
That's
I
on
just-
me. I'll wear that.
that's fine. I was just making sure that it wasn't
Yeah.
like in my backyard over there.
No.
Okay.
I would have invited you to that.
Okay.
Anyways, good football, offensive football, no defense, not
No.
a shred of defense
Zero.
was
Like
played. in
48-45
that game.
final,
Yeah,
right?
wide open.
Yeah.
But I think you got to see like Caleb Williams and Lincoln Riley flex their muscles a little bit. And so I'm going to go. I also don't understand the line, but I'm also going to go the Trojans. I desperately want Notre Dame to win. I think USC needs to get knocked off to help Clemson maybe make the playoffs and help Florida State make an Orange Bowl appearance. Wishful thinking, need a lot to happen. That's one of the things that needs to happen. I just don't think it does happen. I think SC wins.
Yeah. I like Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams is really, really good.
He's good. He played with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite players to watch right now. A little disappointed I didn't watch that game last week, actually.
It was really good, especially for him. If you liked offense, it was great.
I don't have the schedule right in front of me, but I saw a tweet saying that if Florida State were to make the Orange Bowl and win, that they would have more wins in Miami's rented stadium than Miami does this year. Is that correct? Is there like a fact check that we can do there?
Probably right. That would be
I would
2.
guess. Yeah, I would. So that's 2, and I would guess that yes, that is absolutely. They beat FAM at home.
Yep. It was a Bethune.
Sorry,
It was Bethune.
one of those 2.
Okay. They're not the same. They'll take great offense to
Are you
that.
sure it wasn't FAM?
No, FAM's undefeated. I
It's-
saw Dion tweet about it.
No,
the
no,
other
no.
day.
They
Fam's
lost. They lost the Power 5
2,
game.
but what we got? Oh, you got
Bethune?
it? Bethune. That's 1 home win.
Southern Miss.
2.
Middle Tennessee win that one.
Nope.
UNC
Nope.
won that one.
Nope.
No. So they'd have as many
They would have the same number of wins
as Miami's rented stadium.
as long as they don't beat Pittsburgh at home this week.
They won't. They will not. That's incredible. Love that. That's a good nugget. Joy, where are we headed from here, good sir?
It is up to you, my friend. Do you want to talk about Miami? Is that from last week?
Oh yeah, no, let's do talk. This is incredible. Yeah, so Miami played Clemson, correct?
Yeah.
They played
That
Clemson.
next stat is unbelievable too. Go
It's
ahead.
hard to believe.
Yeah.
Miami had 98 yards of offense in the first. Wait, what does that say? Oh, total. Sorry, 98 yards of total offense in the entire game.
Yeah.
Would you like to guess how many yards they had in the first half versus Clemson?
Well, I see it, but I don't. So I'm not going to guess.
Would
but I
you
want
have ever guessed that?
Never.
So we play a game like, huh? I'm about to. 8. Which was your favorite yard that Miami had in the first half? The first yard, second yard, third yard, fourth yard, or the 8th yard? 8. That's impossible. That's impossible.
Right. Mario
Everybody
Cristobal
has-
is so good, though, man.
Oh, he's so good. Everyone has ran the ball against Miami. Everyone.
Everyone. Except Bethune.
Even Clemson. Like, everyone's ran the ball against Clemson. That was my point. I mean, not Miami. Clemson. Everyone has ran the ball effectively against Clemson because Clemson gives that up a little bit.
Right.
They let you do that. They're not going to drive it. That's what they do.
8.
8 in the first half. The good news is they had 90 in the second half. 90. 30 minutes of football.
I'm not going to talk about 8 yards in a game. I refuse.
That's
Don't
wild.
watch the Broncos then. Jesus.
There's other teams.
That's bad. I absolutely love. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. We can't.
I'm not the one that got 12 yards.
This is okay. Miami had 98 yards of offense in an entire game. That's a wild stat, buddy.
It is a wild stat.
That's a wild
in a
stat.
Division I game.
Yes,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
So the next stat that you have here, because I'm assuming you put this in the show
yeah.
notes.
This is me. Both of those
Bro,
are my
South Carolina has scored 18 touchdowns in conference games this year.
18 in
18.
conference games.
They scored half of those against Tennessee last week.
9.
They ran out of fireworks.
Did they actually?
I swear to God, they ran out of fireworks. They couldn't shoot fireworks after the ninth touchdown. Before the ninth touchdown. The ninth touchdown, there were no fireworks.
So they said we're only getting 8. Holy!
They
cow.
started shooting them before the game and at halftime, and then they realized, oh crap! Apparently, we're going to score 10.
That's unbelievable. 18 touchdowns in SEC play.
Yep.
And then 9 against number 5 Tennessee,
Yes.
who was playing for their playoff berth.
Yes.
Spencer Rattler. Whoa, that's just.
What a stud Spencer Rattler is. Florida's defense must be really, really good to hold him in check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jekyll and Hyde. We'll talk about Florida here
I can't
very
wait.
briefly. We will talk about them very briefly.
Got any more of that stuff?
No, I don't. We're going to talk about Josh's barbershop now?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about Josh's ball.
Yeah, I texted him today. He was willing to squeeze me in on Thanksgiving Eve at 9:30 at night. And a step further, maybe I shouldn't. Also was willing to squeeze me in Thanksgiving morning. I was like, dude, I can't do that. You're too kind. Like, you're just too kind.
He really is.
I cannot do that. I'm not saying everyone gets that same treatment, and it's the front porch thing.
Yeah.
You know, we're celebrities, and so we get that type of treatment, right? But man, what a great guy. He treats everyone equally as kind. He's just a nice guy.
He really is. I promise it's the best cut I've ever gotten. And JT's wedding is December 16th, and I can assure you December 14th, before I go, he will be cutting my hair.
For sure.
Can't wait for that, actually. But, yeah, go see him. Give him a text, and then he'll text you his schedule. It's 386-247-1430 is the number to Josh and Josh's Barbershop. And like I said, you'll enjoy the experience. It's not just about the haircut. It's the dude himself is just phenomenal to talk to. And he's got a plethora of knowledge. He can talk to you about sports, life, past experience. Like it's great barbershop talk.
He's well versed.
Yep.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yep.
It doesn't really matter what. Yeah, absolutely. Co-sign all of that. Really, really big fan, Josh. Are we going to talk about people we're not big fans of right now?
Let's do it.
What's his name? I don't know. Zach Wilson.
Yeah. Is that where we're going right now?
I would like to.
I'm
Where did you want to go?
I'm good with Zach Wilson. I thought we would go to Florida State, but I am A-OK going with Zach Wilson.
No, let's
right
go
now.
Zach Wilson first.
Absolutely.
Save that for the end.
Yeah, I'm good with it. Let's do it.
Because once we go there, that may be a minute.
Will be. I mean,
So we don't want to bury Zach Wilson. So Zach Wilson was asked. Actually, can we just play the interview, Tyler?
Yes.
All right. So hang tight, listen to it. We'll talk about it when we get back.
Defense did plenty enough for us to come and win this.
Hang on.
kidding. Just
There we
kidding.
go.
This is it. Here we go.
I mean, when you guys are only able to score 3 points, the defense only lets up 3 points. I mean, do you feel like you let the defense down at all?
No.
And that's that.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. So for the podcasters heard it.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I think you hear it.
Just to recap it, basically, they asked him, well, how was it? How did he feel bad, or was it his fault?
Yeah, the defense only allowed 3 points.
Right.
You know, is this on you basically?
Yeah,
Do you feel bad that you let the defense down? Do you
Yeah,
feel
that's what it was. Do you feel bad? Do you feel like you had any? Do you feel like you let the defense down?
Did
Do
you let
feel
the
like
defense down?
The offense let the defense down.
And he responded, no.
Yeah.
Joey, first I'll let you go, and then I'd like to hear what Clayton's what he thinks,
Yeah.
and then like what would your answer be to that, or what's your reaction to his response?
Okay.
I want the truth. I just want the truth. I don't want any BS.
I can't remember who said it. Somebody said it on Monday Night Football. Said that his response to that was, it's Booger McFarland. He talked about how he spoiled kid growing up, never had to work for anything. Adversity was never a thing for him, and that plays a role into it. I'm not sure about all that, but I know that answer was stupid. Like you can't. There's no way that you can have that answer when you just scored 3. And I don't know how many total yards of offense they had, but it was not over 200. I can promise you that. It was abysmal. I watched almost all of it because it was just on the TV.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, it was bad.
So you think it's dumb?
I think it's asinine.
Okay.
Yeah. Clayton?
Yeah, I think it's really bad. Anytime that your punter is punting more times than you're completing passes,
big yikes.
As a quarterback,
Huge
you
yikes.
should probably just not go to the podium. Just no comment. You can't mess up. Just go to the locker room. Go start watching film. You got to figure something out. It's unbelievable he threw his teammates under the bus. The Jets have had one of the best defenses all year, and they can't score 1 touchdown to win that game, which is a huge game in the division now. Because I think it puts them in 3rd, and Buffalo is obviously still Buffalo.
Right.
They had a chance to take the lead in that division, and you put up 3 points.
Chris, what are your thoughts?
So I think as a defensive coach, right, I'll speak to it. I think that we know as a defense what we preach always is who cares? Like I don't give a damn where they start. I don't care. Our job is to get a stop and give the offense the ball back.
Right.
That's our job. Take it away, give them the ball back. And so like his answer is true, I guess, because like ultimately it has nothing to do with him. Like the defense has to go get a stop.
100%.
Right? Like
I'm cool with that.
But I'll also say in the same breath, if I was in that locker room on that side of the ball, I lost a lot of respect for that guy.
Absolutely.
Like you don't have to say that. I don't know. It was just how dismissive he was of the question.
That's
like,
100% the way I feel about it.
Like that thought never crossed his mind and was just totally irrelevant.
Like how dare you ask that question?
Yeah, I can't believe you asked me that question. It's kind of how it came off.
It is how it came off.
And so I think there's the correct way to answer the question, and there's 2 pros that answer it properly that we're going to play for you here in just a second. Like, this is how that question should be answered.
Defense did plenty enough for us to come and win this game, and so the offense didn't get the job done. That starts with me, and
no, it's on me. Can't have that.
Offense, though, I mean, when you guys are only able to score 3 points, the defense only lets up 3 points. I mean, do you feel like you let the defense down at all?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Garbage.
Yeah.
So like there's two men, leaders, faces of the franchise. They handle that question perfectly.
Right.
Take it, ownership, whether they mean it or not, whether it's
That's
true
irrelevant.
or not, it doesn't matter.
Agreed.
They're the face of the franchise.
Absolutely.
They are the leaders of the locker room.
Yep.
Their job is to stand in front of it and take it. And they did, whether it was justified or not, doesn't matter. That carries a lot more weight in that locker room than the third answer that you just heard.
Absolutely. I text this in the show notes, but do you think that he still has a job if he answers that question differently?
Did you ask that question before they replaced him?
No, it was after.
Okay.
It was after.
Maybe. I mean, his play on the field was absolutely putrid.
I agree, but he's also 5-2 as the starter this year.
You're not wrong.
But wins aren't a quarterback stat.
Oh, I 100% agree with that, but it's
Especially
still
in the
perception is
NFL.
reality, and perception is he's been winning games. Not he. They have been winning games with him as the starter. If he comes in and says, yeah, that's me, that's on me, that's on our offense, we'll figure it out, we'll get it better, I guarantee you, I'll bet any amount of money that you want to bet that he has a job this week. We'll never know because he didn't answer it that way, but he has a job coming up this week if he answers that question the way everybody else in America would answer that question.
I don't know. I saw on Twitter Sauce Gardner tweeted out an apology like a week or so before, and then also after the game. He had been liking tweets that were basically clowning Zach Wilson. Elijah Moore was posting pictures of him throwing footballs before the game.
I saw that.
After Robert Saleh said, we'll keep our options open. Like, he doesn't have the respect of the team, so how can you expect him to take command under center?
I agree mostly with that, but I think that he lost the locker room completely when he said no.
Well, wasn't it just 2 weeks ago where Elijah Moore was like, "What chemistry?" Like,
Yeah, but
I don't get the
Elijah Moore
ball.
requested a trade like long before
he
this.
may be his own individual
Yeah,
issue.
he's still. I don't take in much that he says.
To
to
answer
heart.
your question, though, probably maybe he has a job, but his performance was enough to be benched. And then you add that on, I think this is your point, you add how he handled the press and how he handled that public. Dude, you're in New York, dude. You're in the Mecca. Like, you cannot – that cannot be an answer, dude. And like – worst. He's so bad. And I don't want to attack the guys like – I don't know him like that. So I can't. I'm the one hitting my mic right now. I don't know that guy like that. I won't speak on his character, but I can damn sure tell you how it looks.
Yeah.
It looks like he's spoiled. He can't take accountability, can't take ownership. I don't know how his childhood was. That doesn't matter to me.
Had some magic last year.
Once. It was an accident, but he did.
Also, so because we're going to get to Anthony Richardson, and it's not on here, but NFL, we're about to go to Florida here in a minute. If that kid was drafted 2 overall, we don't think that Anthony Richardson is a first rounder?
I think people make mistakes all the time.
Yeah, well, they keep making him at that position. So
the Jets especially. They've drafted 4 first rounders.
They
none of them have hit.
They may be the one to take him.
No, I think they're done taking quarterbacks. They'll sign a free
But
agent.
I don't think you can be done taking quarterbacks, though, especially now. I mean, look at the top teams, Chiefs, Mahomes, Bills, Allen. Vikings, Kirk Cousins is a little bit of an exception.
How many times did those teams miss, though?
I mean,
when
the Chiefs haven't missed. They had Alex Smith.
And
very good.
Buffalo didn't miss.
That's what I'm saying. The Chiefs had
Emmanuel.
The Chiefs had Alex Smith
first rounder.
that they did not draft. When's the last quarterback they drafted?
Well, they didn't
So they
have
haven't-
to. They got Alex Smith, 3 years into his career?
Which is
and
my
he was
point.
Very serviceable.
The Jets have missed on 4 straight first-round quarterbacks.
From
4.
drafting them,
Yes.
is your point. So you're saying sit back, wait, let somebody else draft it, find out, evaluate, and then
Get a new
trade for
GM.
him.
So anything at this point, but I don't think they take another quarterback in the first round this year. I just don't.
Well, that's what the Panthers have done too, though. I mean, Baker, Sam, and they're
That's true.
in the race for the number 1 overall pick right now,
Yeah, that's true.
and tanking, trading Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, that's true. That's a valid point.
Okay, all that correct.
Yeah. So I don't know what they do.
But there's 32 teams, so they may not, but there's somebody else that will.
I mean, yeah, potential alone is going to get him drafted somewhere.
1,000%.
What were you about to say a minute ago, Tyler?
I was just going to say that they had a 103 yards of total offense, 49 total plays. So that's a
2 yards of play. 2 yards of play.
77 passing yards.
That was hard.
That's probably enough, honest to God, to be fired without effing up at the podium. Yeah, no.
That's bad.
Speaking of effing up at the podium,
His 2 losses have both come to the Patriots, though, which is interesting.
yeah, Belichick's going to Belichick.
16 games in a row that the Jets have dropped to the Patriots now.
Probably.
It is.
I mean, yeah. That's
Love
wild.
that.
Who was the last Jets serviceable quarterback?
Geno Smith.
Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
Mark
Before
Sanchez.
the butt fumble, he wasn't
Stay right
bad.
on
Yeah, he went to back-to-back AFC championships.
Wasn't
I think
Chad Hennington there too? He took them.
Pennington, right?
Yeah, Chad
Pennington?
Pennington.
Chad Henne.
Chad Henne.
Anything is
And
possible.
Chad Pennington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was definitely there, but I don't think he was anything special. Yeah, and neither was Sanchez, neither was Geno at the time. Eventually, Geno obviously has grown into something that's pretty darn good.
Boy.
But Clayton loves him. He loves it. What's next?
We're gonna go Florida State, Florida, right? You want to jump right into it?
Yeah.
So before we start, can we talk about Anthony Richardson guaranteeing a win?
Yeah, we can do that.
Rolf, I sent that in the chat, that tweet. There it is. Look at you, way ahead of the game. So, and Joey, I'll let you read that
You
since
give
you're
me
closer.
4 or 5 tries at this thing, and I'm going to get it right.
That's my guy, man.
Yep.
Hey, shoot,
Big fan.
shoot, baby. Shoot or shoot.
Shoot or shoot. Seth Curry over here. Anthony Richardson on Florida State. When we win this one, it will definitely build momentum for us, which is true. When they win, it's going to build momentum.
Would it? Oh, you too. Okay, yes, sir. Here for all of this.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like the starting quarterback coming out and doing that? Honestly,
I don't love it. I don't love it because
Really?
I don't love it because here's why I don't love it. I don't love it because you just lost to Vandy. That's number one. And that has minimal to do with it, but it's who you are as the quarterback. Like you're so Jekyll and Hyde yourself, right? Like you're here, you're there, you're a little everywhere. Like
I feel like
cat
he
in the
puts
hat.
up numbers every game, though. He puts up numbers, even in losses. He had
Sometimes.
400 yards. He had 400 yards passing.
I'm aware.
Saturday.
I know.
400.
29 of 42, 400 yards, 3 tutties. Yeah, I know. I remember the stats. I saw it.
That's in a loss.
In a loss, yeah.
He did his part.
Did he?
400 yards of offense?
Yeah, I mean,
People gave Jameis a crap for the same stuff in Tampa. He played from behind every game and had 8 majillion passing yards that
right
year.
in the fourth quarter, whenever
Yeah, when it
teams were
didn't
playing
matter.
soft coverage. You're right. I mean, and that's what he did. He had 200 yards in the fourth quarter. Okay, I mean that's cool. It's good. It's great. But what about having 100 rushing yards in the first half and you win the game instead of having 400 passing yards and losing the game? I don't love it because everybody talks about, and I don't know how true it is. I don't know the kid personally. I don't know. I know people that have talked to people that do know him, and his confidence does get shaken pretty easily. So if you have confidence issues already, I don't love this. If it were me,
I'm with you.
I'm pretty confident, right? Like I have
we
confidence
know.
in my abilities.
Yes, sir.
I don't have a problem if I said this. If you said this, Chris, if Clayton said this, I coached this guy as a freshman. He was a dog.
Mm-hmm.
This dude, he got after it as a freshman. Like, if he said that even as a ninth grader, I'd been like, all right, cool, bet. Let's go get him, big dog.
Yeah.
You already got confidence.
I may say, pump the brakes. But
Right,
I love
of
it.
course.
Like, let's ride.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're here
Yeah,
now.
whatever.
Let's do it.
But for Anthony Richardson to already have confidence issues and then put this target on your back that is unnecessary because you shouldn't have said it, I just don't love it for him to say it. If somebody else says it, maybe, okay, cool. Him, not a love.
I just have a question because I think this is important.
Okay.
Does anybody know what the question was that he was responding to?
No, I don't.
Because that could be.
And it could. Because the media loves to give you just a little here. Here's
No,
some
but like,
clickbait.
okay.
Yeah, I see you
Here's
talking
some-
about Gator media all the time.
Yeah,
Well,
here's some
what,
clickbait.
so
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, exactly.
Both of you two. What question? How else could that have been? Like, how else do you say?
I don't know.
No, I'm saying, but like, in what question do you answer when we win this one? It will definitely build momentum for us.
What does this Florida State game mean to the program moving forward?
It means everything to us. We got to go out and compete and handle our business on Saturday. You don't
Hey,
guarantee wins.
Will you put the quote back up there for Sherm real quick? My guess is, how much does this impact recruiting in the state of Florida?
Yeah, that's probably exactly what it was.
Probably something like that. But when we win this, it's a probably when we win this, it's a big situation for Florida.
but
not
he
necessarily
owned it.
when we win this one.
But he's owned it. He owned. Okay, but they haven't pushed back at all. Nobody's pushed
No,
back.
they haven't.
So
I'm
they've
saying
owned
that's-
it. Like,
right,
they've
yeah.
owned it. Like, he said that. He meant that. He should hope to win the game. But I know for sure there's people that took notice of that.
Oh yeah,
But,
absolutely.
I mean, okay, so my question to you, Joey, does Florida State play harder now because Anthony Richardson said that? No, probably not.
I don't know. I mean,
know what I mean?
You're juiced for this game no matter what.
Absolutely. So, like,
You don't need extra motivation.
in my opinion, if I was on the other side of this, like as a coach, I freaking love that.
Right.
Give me all of that.
Right.
Talk more, please.
Yeah.
If someone else put a microphone in front of me a little bit more, let's find out. Like I love that. Columbia played Escambia just this weekend, and someone told me that Escambia's coaches were jawing. Well, it's been said forever about Columbia High School. Don't kick them.
Don't poke the bear.
Absolutely not. Whenever we played them, it was very, very much clear in our locker room that, because they know each other, it's really close. Do not because we're scared, but do not run your mouth.
Right.
Talk with your shoulder pads and your right L. That when the whistle's blown, that's when you can talk.
Yeah.
But don't talk pregame. Don't do that. Like, and Escambia did that, and they got a very excited and motivated and spirited Columbia High School football team,
Right.
Which they may not have got had they not ran their mouth. Coaches.
Yeah, because they did it right before the game, so it's much easier right then
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
to be in that moment. Whereas you just drove for 5 hours the day before, you've kind of sat in a hotel lobby for a little while. You may be a little,
Yep.
but then as soon as you hear them words, boy, it's go time.
Yeah. So Florida State's defense, I know this from somebody inside. They know exactly what was said, who said it. They're very much so aware. They're tweeting, "Please stop tagging me in the quote because I've already read it. I've seen it. Like, we're good. Like, go Knowles." Like,
Yeah.
They didn't take the bait, which I love, but I think that's what makes this rivalry a rivalry. Like, I think I as a Seminole fan, I love that little extra juice. Like, let's push that thing up a little bit higher. Like, I love it.
My only hope is that it pushes them too high, and maybe
it could.
they may over pursue on some certain things that trying to get a kill shot, something of that nature, and maybe Florida has a chance late to steal one. I don't know. Yes, Hunter, Columbia was definitely better than Escambia the entire season.
For sure. Yeah, that's not what I said.
No.
My point was that they
Fired 'em up.
they woke him up for no
Right.
reason.
Right. No reason to do that.
Yeah, coaches should never talk trash to players.
Ever.
First of all, period. It's weird.
Super weird. Agreed.
But Joey, so the game Saturday and Clayton, you too.
Friday.
On Friday. Yes.
Because, hey,
so bad.
Speaking of that, are we going to watch that together maybe Friday night late? Maybe. I think it depends on the situation. I don't think it depends on the situation at all because I think no matter what.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
Never mind.
Yeah, we can watch the game together. When,
Saturday morning.
Yeah, when? Ooh, yeah, Saturday, mimosas. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll cook breakfast on the flat top.
Oh my God, yeah.
All right.
Sign me up.
Done. Done.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's Friday night, which is terrible, absolutely absurd. Like,
Especially in the state of Florida.
high school football. Yeah, we're playing high school football. It's the playoffs. Columbia's still alive. Union's still alive. Like, people are going to go watch those games.
That happens in North Carolina. So what? They don't care about their high
Yeah,
school
we
football
don't
there.
care. We do in Florida.
Yeah.
That's bad.
It's
not
bad.
good. What are you looking for, Joey? Joey, what are you looking for? Just real quick, we're going to dive into the numbers a little bit with the graphics and all that cool stuff. We don't want that yet. But what are you looking for? What are you looking for, Joey, in the matchup? Let's go. Which side of the ball do you want to start on?
Let's go Florida offense. Florida State defense.
I think that's the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Florida offense, Florida State defense. Yeah.
I
So from a Gator fan's perspective, if y'all are in the chat, hop in, let us know what you think. Tell a buddy because it's a little bit light right now. We know it's Thanksgiving Eve,
yes,
but
you can.
where are you going to look to, Joey, in that matchup? And then Clayton, I'm coming to you next with that same question.
So for me, I mean, the obvious answer is the trenches, but I want to see Florida's receivers, Florida's young receivers, because there's several that aren't playing and several that now are. The depth chart came out today. Pearsall, I think, is playing, so that's a plus for Florida. But I want to see Anthony Richardson be able to actually control the game early with his arm and his legs. I think if he can control the game early with his arms and the legs, then Florida can stick around, until the fourth quarter. And then when you're in the game in the fourth quarter, anything can happen. So I think that's the key for me is he has to make the easy reads, which he struggled with a lot this year. Make the easy reads, make the easy throws, and then the guys around him have got to make play. Like you can't just drop. I think they had 8 drop passes against Vandy, and that's a problem.
And that's not on him.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like
There was several. I know one to Montreal, the very first series of the game, Montreal out of the backfield.
Yeah.
He goes to catch the ball, turns his head, doesn't catch it. It's literally a walk-in touchdown,
Yeah.
and you end up getting 3 out of it instead of 7.
Yeah.
Momentum's dying. So there's plays throughout the game that, and it's not always on Richardson, and it's definitely not always on Billy Napier. I sometimes question Billy Napier's play calling and his decisions, but guys are open more often than they're not.
That's the perfect example. The play call is great.
The
He's
execution
open.
was great on half of it.
The ball is delivered. It's a catchable pass.
Yep.
Catch it. That's what you're on scholarship for. Run in. It's a touchdown.
100%. So that's the key for me. That's what I think I need to see is that.
Clay, what about you? Like, what are you looking for?
So there are 2 keys for me. One, being a former FSU student and attending this game. I think it's really important for Florida if they want to get things going. You have to start out big. You got to start out, punch FSU in the mouth. Because if you let us get that momentum in the stadium, it's going to be packed. It's going to be a night game. If you let us get a 3 and out, or you get 1 first down and then you punt it away, you give us that momentum to start the game, I think it's going to be hard to come back from because I think we're the more talented team. But if you punch them in the mouth with a big AR run or a little RPO or something like that, I think Florida State has struggled to defend athletic quarterbacks like you guys have said before. So I could see it going really, really poorly for us to start. If AR starts with like a big run off the tackle, 20, 30 yards, that could really suck the air out of the building.
Absolutely. I
like
think
that.
I think that's a very, very good there it is. I think it's a really good point. Both of you make good points. I think like with Florida, and this is why I've been telling all my friends, because like football in the South, we know what the deal is. Like we all have a team, we have rooting interests. Like in us coaches, like we talk about it from a different perspective. But I think what's so important is the fact that Florida, like who they were versus Vandy, I don't think that's the same Florida team that Florida State gets on Friday night. It's like if we get that, I think we run them out of the building.
Yeah,
but that's not the team that will show up. And I think Florida is so Jekyll and Hyde. They're so like you don't know what team you're going to get, especially offensively.
Yeah, defensively too.
Yeah, because they could show up and play. Like,
Right.
talent isn't the problem. It's like execution and focus, and there's other things that are factors to their results of their games. But like Florida, by no means is a bad football team. They're not bad. I know the record is 6-5 now,
6-5.
but and they're coming off of a bad loss to Vandy. That's a
Really
bad
bad.
loss. There's no way around it. Like
Agreed.
that's a bad loss. But that's not the team. That's not the Gators that Florida State will see on Friday. There's none of us believe that, right? Like we don't.
No, I don't believe that.
So
but
then, like, for me, you can't take a whole lot from that, in my opinion, because Anthony Richardson, people say what you will, they hate him or they dislike him or whatever. At the end of the day, if he plays his A game, that's really, really, really hard to stop.
absolutely, I agree with that.
Like, it's hard. Like, he's so good with his legs. He can throw the ball 75 yards. Like, in easy. It's scary as hell as a defensive coach. Like, if I had to try and stop Anthony Richardson, for me, like, it's not a winning recipe to hope that he has a bad game. That's not effective. You can't. That's not good as a coach. Like,
No, I've seen that too. Hoping for a negative, and if it happens, great. If it doesn't, then you're screwed.
that can't be your plan, though, right?
It shouldn't be your plan.
It cannot be the plan. Like, that would be like saying, hey, we're going to play a triple option team. We'll tackle the dive. We'll tackle the quarterback. And if the corner gets off of a block, then we'll tackle the pitch. It's
Yeah.
not a that doesn't work.
Right.
You're outnumbered. Like, that's not if he gets a bad read, then we'll have success on this play. So you have to account for Anthony Richardson to do his job and to make the pass, to make the read, to do all. If he does those things, it's really hard to stop that.
Yeah.
Especially with what Clayton just said, Florida State trying to stop mobile quarterbacks. Like, we don't do that well.
Absolutely.
And we haven't seen one in a while. We haven't seen a mobile quarterback in a while.
Since what, Malik Cunningham?
Yeah, Malik.
There was one after that. I can't remember which. Y'all stopped.
Ja'Cory Brown, Miami, because everyone stops him. He had 8 yards in the first half.
No, not him. It was somebody else.
Schrader, he had half an ankle.
Maybe Cunningham was the last one y'all faced.
And then maybe one more in there. Louisiana Lafayette, no, couldn't move. Wake Forest, Hartman,
Hartman-ish.
not really a mobile guy. He's a scheme guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, you're right. No, that's pretty much the last one.
so like, yeah, the mobile side.
DJ, I guess, but he doesn't really look to run.
Well, now that's the closest comparison because we got the best version of DJ, period.
Yeah.
If we could have got the version that everyone else has got here recently, we beat them. But we didn't. We
y'all
got
play him today, you beat him too.
Yeah, we get the best version of DJ. Like, but even then, he's big like AR. He doesn't run behind his pads. He's not a physical runner. He's not really a willing runner. He doesn't really want to run. So, I think that's kind of, I don't know. I think if we get AR-15 at his A game, that gets real scary really quick.
You want to shift to the other side of the ball before we deep dive into the stats,
Yeah, let's do that. We'll start with
or do you want to do the one?
Jordan Travis.
No, the 2 above that. Justin Fields' development. You want to wait for that?
Yeah, let's wait.
I think that's a way to. Yeah, I'm with it.
But we can talk about Florida State offensively versus Florida defensively.
Yeah.
I think it's so we're talking about quarterbacks, and you talk about Jordan Travis, and like so in the coaching world, like high school football, everywhere, everyone always says the same stuff. Like you want to be hot, like when it starts cooling off,
cold,
right?
yeah.
Like later in the year, November, December, January for college and NFL. Like you want to be playing your best football at this time of the year. And like Jordan Travis in the month of November is just absurd.
Right.
Some of that's
Super
opponent, but like he's beat them like they're bad. You know,
Right.
like for example, he has 11 touchdowns responsible for. Would you like to know how many incompletions he has? I know you know.
I do
9. 11 touchdowns, 9 incompletions
In the month of November.
in the month of November.
This is not the second weekend in November. This is the last weekend in November.
11 touchdowns, 9 incompletions. I think like 2 or 3 were drops, by the way, of the incompletions. Yeah, that's real. He's also around 80% completion
It was
percentage
like
right
12
now.
or 13 one game.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe 12 or 14 or something.
That was I think that was Miami.
Yeah.
He didn't play.
That doesn't matter though. That's just.
I agree. He didn't play the second half versus Louisiana ULL whatever. Didn't play the other 2 fourth quarters versus Syracuse and whoever else was before that.
Miami.
Didn't play the fourth quarter, so he hasn't played an entire game quarter wise. The last 3 games
Probably since November started.
probably since November started.
Because Georgia Tech, he didn't play the fourth either.
Yeah, his quarterback rating, I know we don't really care about that much for the month of November is 205.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah.
You made a good point, though. He's not being asked to do that much with his arm because they're able to run the piss out of the football.
Yeah, I mean,
They're averaging I think they've ran for 200 yards the last 5 or 6 games or 6 games. Like, they're running the ball very well.
I know in most of the last 6 games, they've had all 3 backs, when they had all 3 healthy, they were all close to 100 each game.
Yeah, they're running for like 200 plus.
Yeah, one to two are all above 100, and then the third one is either there or a touch behind.
And he's not having to run the ball, which is why he's still healthy.
100%.
He's not having to throw the ball a lot because they're able to run the ball a lot. So he's not being asked to do a lot. So the completion percentage is high, quarterback rating is high.
Sure.
All those things are high for those reasons. But still, 11 touchdowns and 9 incompletions in the month is absurd.
It is absurd. What's the key on that side of the ball for Florida State?
What I just said, I think, in my opinion, like what I'm looking for is like they have to be able to run the football.
Right.
They have to be able to run the football. A couple of reasons why. First reason why is to take stress off of. I think Florida's decent on the back end. I think if you can block the front 4 up decently, the linebackers, especially absent Ventrell Miller, are suspect. I think you have to be able to run the football. You have to make safeties and corners tackle. Florida State's had success doing that. Also, when you add the element of Jordan Travis potentially keeping the ball, no one's had to see that yet. No one this year has had to see that.
Right.
That's a wrinkle that
probably is going to get used.
Well, I think it has to. We have nothing else. Like it's week 12.
Yeah.
You know, that's tough too. Like as dangerous as AR is, so 13 is scary too back there.
100% has been from day one.
Yeah,
dude he can go.
So for me, I think on the sideline because you're running the ball, and then now it's just like then it's a possession game. Like then, like who gets behind the 8 ball first and who makes the big mistake.
Well, and even then, if you establish the run well enough, especially lining up in like I formation or strong, you can start running play action bootlegs and get your big bodies like Cam McDonald and Johnny Wilson out on the edge, freaking 7'11" Yao Ming body type. If you get him one-on-one, I don't care how good Florida's DBs are or how average or solid they are, you're not stopping Johnny Wilson one-on-one play action bootleg, just throw him the ball.
I think Johnny Wilson stops Johnny Wilson if anybody does.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's fair.
That's it.
I don't know that Florida stops Johnny Wilson because, like you said, he's a big body guy and he can actually move a little bit with his body. And Florida doesn't have a huge body. I mean, Marshall can. He's bigger, but he's not huge. But I do think that Johnny Wilson can have a couple of drops, and if he gets in his head early,
he will drop the ball.
Yeah, then we're okay, I think. But
it's worth noting too, he didn't play last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he?
I think he's a little bit dinged. I think they knew they didn't have to play.
Bingo.
But and he's dressed, but he's not out. He is a full go.
Yeah.
A full go this week.
No, yeah, he's playing.
Yeah, he's
he would have played last week if they needed him to.
I think he could have played.
Yeah, it was a LeBron load management type situation.
I think you're probably right.
I don't hate that.
But I am with you though. I think you make a good point. He is the one that can stop himself.
Yeah.
He's not guardable. He's not one-on-one. You can't cover him.
It's tough. Yeah, it's definitely tough.
You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you press him, that's what he struggles with. But if he gets by you, then you're giving up a huge play. Yeah. But then the catch radius is so big. Like, put it near him.
What do you think Florida has to do defensively to stay in the game?
I think they have to make this is crazy because I just said I think they have to make Florida State drive the football, be consistent, and then hope in the red zone that it gets shrunk down, and then you have to just hope that Jordan Travis can't make the throws because you have to take the run game away because that's the easiest thing to do is turn around and hand the ball off. The next easiest thing to do is quarterback keep it. So you have to account for him in the running game, stop the run.
Yeah.
And then probably just match up, single up on the outside, and just hope that you can. The windows are too tight, and make plays. And that Florida State makes a mistake because at the end of the day, like they'll still shoot themselves in the foot. They haven't done it a ton, but they haven't been.
But the opportunities really hasn't.
I was going to say, let's be real here for a second. As Seminole fans, like we have to be honest with ourselves. And when's the last time we've been in a close game?
LSU, when we almost fumbled the game away on the 1 yard line.
Louisville.
Well,
Louisville.
I was thinking of that.
And then the 3 losses we had. You had NC State,
all those
Clemson. Those were close losses. But like for the past month, they haven't had a close game where like stakes are high, tension is high, and So like I think if you're 40, you put them in that situation. You do your best to put them in that situation and trust your coaching and hope that Napier is able to make, put him in the right position, or Patrick Toney.
Right.
Shrink the field. Eliminate the explosive plays. Florida State's number 1 in the country in explosive play rate.
Yeah. So that's pretty much exactly what I was going to say. Like in my head, more intelligent than me, but
No, not true.
no, it is true. But like in my head, you almost have to play a bend don't break because your defense just isn't good enough to try to play them straight up. So you have to play a bend don't break until this, like you said, the field gets small, and then hopefully you trade touchdowns for field goals at that point.
Yeah.
I think that's we just talked about how you can't want someone else to fail for you to succeed. Right, like you can't. That's not how you game plan. But I swear that's how I feel this week. Like I need Florida State to struggle in the red zone, kick field goals, and Florida to score touchdowns. And I feel like that's how Florida stays in the game. Like you said, big plays. If you don't eliminate the big plays, that's how you get run out of the stadium, and that's not going to be a good situation. If they give up a couple early, and they've been known to do that. I don't like Florida's chances at all. Now I will say Florida doesn't. They're not going to lay down. They don't roll over and die.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like they're not going to. Like I haven't watched enough. I've watched a lot of Florida.
Yeah.
But they're not just going to lay it down, right?
No, I mean even when they were down a couple of scores against Tennessee late, they didn't. I mean it just kept on
playing.
going. Same thing with Georgia. They kept playing.
And that's the encouraging thing about Florida State. They're not going to quit. Like they don't care. Like AR, he could bust off he may take the air out of the stadium, but them kids are going to keep playing.
Right.
They've proven that now through 3 years. They're gonna play.
Yeah. Where do you want to go next? Do you want to keep going with this, or do you want to
Yeah, let's talk about like a little bit more advanced metrics, like where we can look.
see advantages?
Yeah, advantages here. Yes.
Yeah. Before we do that, let's talk about Bryan Sports, which is the best sporting goods store in Lake City. Sorry, it's a buzzkill. I know. No, it's not a buzzkill because Bryan Sports is the greatest freaking sporting goods store in Lake City. I just said that. You don't go to those dicks across the street, as Bradford says.
It's Bradford. Bradford's still with us.
Yeah. Give Brian a call, 755-0570. He'll take care of you. Any of your sporting goods needs, if you need jerseys, shoes, shorts, pants, it doesn't matter. He's got you, I promise.
Yeah. Also,
Stanford High School uses him a lot.
yeah. There's others too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they do so.
Yeah. So just because you're not in the area, don't think that you can't reach out because he'll take care of you just the same.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. All right, Chris, let's go.
All right. So you want to start? Which side of that do you want to start on? Florida State offense, is that on the left or is that on the right?
Florida State offense is on the right side.
Okay, let's start there.
Yeah.
So Florida State offensively, yards per play, 6.6, good for 10th nationally. That's a top 10 offense if you care about yards per play. I personally do because I think that's a better like barometer of a offense. For example, Jordan Travis didn't play the second half.
Right.
He didn't play the fourth quarter of the last two games. So like the yards per play actually has kind of gone down,
right,
but not as bad as the overall offensive production has gone down in those games. Does that make sense to you?
Right. It does to me.
So
Because
like,
you're not running as many plays
in the garbage time,
right,
so to say.
Yeah.
But like total yards is gonna take a heck of a hit because it does.
Yeah.
But the per play yard, it is still a more accurate representation of what they do.
Yeah.
The yards per rush, they are 16th nationally as well, 5.3. Joey, how does Florida match up to that in yards per rush allowed over there?
They're 104th nationally. They give up 4.7 yards per carry.
So that's the big one, right? Like that for me, like my recipe for Florida State to win, I think they have to run the football. I think they're going to have to run 13, some too, to get an extra number advantage. I don't necessarily need it. The number said they don't need it, but
I would have that stat plastered everywhere. By the way,
if you're Florida,
yeah,
like they're going to run the ball. To me, like, okay, so I'm going to take a quick sidebar here.
Yeah,
so let me just reiterate that point. Florida State runs the ball per rush very well.
Right.
Florida, according to the numbers, they do not do a very good job of stopping the run at all.
Yeah.
To me, the most disrespectful thing as a coach, we played Madison this past round. We beat them in the second round of the playoffs. The last drive before the half, Joy, they loaded it up. They went tight end, fullback, extra back, and they just ran the ball right down our throats. That was as mad as I've been in an entire game. And we're down by 3 at the time, I think.
Yeah.
At halftime, I was furious because it was just, if you throw the deep ball on me, like that's one guy getting beat, a heck of a play. But when you come out and you say, we're going to put all 11 guys right here and we're just going to mash you, that's so disrespectful. And they did it with success. Pissed me off. I went off at halftime. I freaking went off. As bad as I've gone off at halftime. It was bad.
Huge fan.
Kids, women don't need to be in here right now. That type of gone off. Defense responded, came out, handled their business.
Did they come out in the same formation in the second half?
Yes, they did. Would you like to know how long they stayed in that?
One drive.
One drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kicked in the teeth, and that was it.
Yeah.
But my point is, running the football, like I think that's what Florida State's going to hang their hat on. I think they're going to try to do that.
Well, they
like,
should.
That's what they're good at anyways.
Right.
So
And that's what Florida's bad at. Well,
so,
just defense in general.
So you have to. And then yards per play as it goes back up there. Florida State is 16th. Joey, can you what is that? I'm not trying to be funny. You're just closer to the screen. Yards per play, they're 77th nationally, I'm sorry.
Who, Florida?
Yeah, 107th.
Yeah, 107 the big
107 in the country in yards per play.
Uh-huh.
That's not a good recipe. Like, that's a very good recipe for Florida State on offense. That's why I think they need to spend as much time on that side of the ball as possible. Like, have Jordan Travis and the offense on the field for as long as you can. Keep that defensive group on the field for Florida as long as you can, and because that's where your advantage lies.
Absolutely, it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think if we flip it, which we can do now, like if we flip it and now look at like Florida on offense versus Florida State on defense, I don't think it's as well. There's definitely not as much of an advantage for Florida State on that side of the ball.
Right. In fact, there's an advantage for Florida in the rushing department, where Florida is 5th nationally at 5.6 yards per carry. And Florida State is 37th, which is still respectable, but at 3.8 yards a carry, they're 37th in the nation.
Yeah, I just want to point out that on the screen, the graphics, so the more solid the color is, the bigger the advantage is there. So you can see the big advantage for FSU on yards per play, yards per rush. And then over on the Florida offensive side of the ball, everything's kind of dim because the offense and defense,
they're closer
they
together.
They match blows pretty well. Yeah.
But to your point, Joey, like Florida has an advantage running the football, which is no surprise to us because we know Johnson can run the ball, Anthony Richardson can run the ball, ETN can run the ball.
Right.
And Florida State's given up what? I mean, like 37th nationally, that's respectable, but that's enough.
Good.
That's enough to get exposed, though.
Yeah. I mean, it could be.
Is.
It
That's
could
a good.
be, yes.
That's a good offensive line. That's a good running back group. Like that's. If you're Florida, that's what you have to lean on, especially
100%.
with the receivers being down the way they are. Like you got to run the ball.
Right. You absolutely do. I think so. When I said earlier, I think AR has to have a little bit with his arm too. I think if you open up the passing game early, that opens up the running game much better. Not even late, but like in the middle of the first game. If you hit one big play, that's all it takes sometimes, just one big play, and everything else can kind of fall into place from there. And I think that's what Florida has to do.
Does Florida do that?
I do. I think they do.
You think so? You're saying they take a shot early, try to move the. I would, me personally, if I'm Florida on offense, Billy Napier and company, I'm moving the pocket.
Right.
I'm moving AR around. I'm giving him the option to quick easy read. If it's there, give it to him right now. If it's not, tuck that thing down and go get 7 or 8.
Right.
Stress the defense.
Yeah, and I think that happens. I do think that happens, but like I said, I think they
If
try
that
to hit a
happens,
big
then
one.
they probably win.
I think they try to hit a big one early, and if they do, then it could be a fun game. I think.
Yeah, Florida is capable. That's like what people. This number being 9.5 is a little bit crazy to me because that says that Florida is not capable. I don't agree with that. I think they're extremely capable.
I think 9.5 is because they've played so bad at times too. I think that's what if both teams play their A game, yeah, I think they're pretty comparable. I think they're both
100%.
Yeah, I think they're both right there. But that hasn't been the case. Florida State is really playing really well. They've hit their stride. They're doing things the right way.
They've been consistent as hell.
They've been very consistent over the last month and a half.
I agree.
So things are going smooth for them. So you can count on that. You know what I mean? I feel like Vegas thinks that they can count on that.
Yes. Okay. Seminole
Florida,
fans are still waiting for the other shoe to drop. I promise.
I'm sure they are, but it's not. Norvell's got you. Florida, on the other hand,
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
No, I truly believe
Carry
that.
on. You're
Florida,
right.
on
We
the
know
other
what you're
hand,
doing.
is Jekyll and Hyde here and there, up and down, some good, some bad. So if they play their A game, yeah, that number 9.5 probably is too high. But if they play their C game, that number 9.5 isn't even close to where it should be. So I think that's why it's at 9.5.
But
because I think Vegas is like me. I've told people all week I have no clue what was going to happen with Florida. Like this is the first Florida team in a long time where I'm like, I got nothing. Like usually I can say, okay, well this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and you got a chance at this. I have no clue with this Florida team. None. Zero. I don't know if they're going to be good offensively. I don't know if they're going to be good defensively. I don't know if they're going to be bad offensively. I don't know if they're going to run the ball. I don't know if they're going to throw the ball 42 times. I have no idea what they're doing.
Is there anything really quick here? Is there anything to Florida State just playing Billy Napier's old school and the relationships he has and him like talking with his coaches, because Florida State's staff is already aware that there is those connections and that there's something to it for sure, in my opinion. But to you, you're allowed to have your own opinion.
Right.
Is there anything to like them saying, hey, this worked against them, this didn't work against them? Do they get an advantage at all and almost have like an advanced scout because the schemes and systems are very similar?
No, because I think he's changed his scheme enough at Florida to not be similar. It's not what Levi Lewis ran last year. Mm-hmm. Like it's a dumbed down version. I talked to somebody who has talked to people that are close to that situation.
Yeah.
And this offense is dumbed down for Napier. Like this is not what.
And that's why it looks a little bit predictable at times.
Right.
Probably.
They've kind of altered it a touch to fit receiver personnel and Anthony Richardson's strengths, and so it's not the same. I don't think there's much to that. I don't. And there may be a lot to that, but in my opinion, right now as it stands, I don't see much to that right now.
I will say Florida State was vanilla as possible against them.
That makes sense. They should be, just in case.
Yeah, because you can handle it.
Right.
You can still win and be vanilla.
Absolutely.
Clay, do you have any other? I have some more questions, but do you have anything else before we get off too far from that you want to address?
I'm just kind of more concerned. Like we said earlier, Florida State's coming off, 3-4 wins all in November. Handily won all of those games. Florida's coming off a pretty tough loss, and I think this whole season they've been pretty complacent against bad teams like Vanderbilt, USF, but teams like Utah in the home opener, I mean, the energy was there. The offense looked more creative. They were making more plays. So I'm worried that Florida State's going to come in a little bit too comfortable, even though it's a rivalry game, just because we have been dominating everyone we've played so far. And I think that might lead to a big play to start the game. And like you said, that's where we get into some trouble there.
I think that's an extremely good point. You think about the games that they've played tough in. Georgia was one possession game in the third quarter, late in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Tennessee, they had them on the ropes there at the end. Could have won the football game.
Yeah.
It was a top 5 team up until last week. Mm-hmm. So, that team, your team, Florida, they get up for the big game.
They do.
This is a big game.
Yeah, and I think
But 9, whatever. 9.5 is not right. That number is wrong in my opinion. Joey, so let's do this real quick. I want to try and add this in, especially with both of our teams. To the not layman fans, but the casual fan, like the sitter or whatever, like you and me. We're I'm a casual fan. I don't deep dive into the
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. Right.
What should if you're a Gator fan, talk to your Gator fans right now. If you're a Gator fan, what should they look for in the first quarter to see if their team is on track, if the Gators are on track or not on track for pulling the upset, winning the football game? Where should they look to see if, hey, we got a chance right now?
The first place you got to look is 15. Obviously, you got to look at Anthony Richardson. Like you said earlier, if you're moving side to side, you're moving out of the pocket. If he sees a running lane and hits it early, and he's quick decision,
committed to running.
Yeah, if he's committed to running,
That's dangerous.
Opens up everything else so much.
Yes, sir.
And all Florida fans know that. That's not some secret sauce, some secret ingredient to it. Everybody knows that. But I do think that's big early, and I think one of the young receivers like Jamarcus Weston hasn't played a whole lot. I think if he gets in early and takes the top off, because he has that ability, he's not a great receiver. Don't get me wrong. I don't love Jamarcus Weston, but I do think that he has the ability to take the top off. If an unknown guy comes and takes the top off early and kind of gets the sideline juiced, I think that's a big plus for Florida. Defensively, I think you just have to you don't miss assignments. If Florida doesn't miss any assignments and create a huge play in the first quarter, I think they'll be okay enough to compete. I don't know that they can win, but I think they're okay enough to compete if they don't blow any major assignments, because Florida State's going to come out throwing punches. They're not going to come out and try to do the same basic stuff they did against Louisiana.
I agree.
I think they'll come out trying to throw punches. And so if you don't see any huge bad missed assignments early, which we'll see, but I think that'll be a key for Florida.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I agree with everything you just said. Clayton, what about you? Seminole fans, what in your opinion, what should they look for, especially early, to see hey, we're on track here, or oh boy, this could be a long night?
Well, Benson better get the ball minimum 5 times on the first drive, because like I said earlier, once you set up the run, then you let Jordan Travis, and he can do the same thing that AR does. I mean, Probably not as dangerous
I
with
don't
his
know.
legs.
It's pretty close.
But he's also very talented with his legs.
Yes.
And you open up that lane to potentially run or dump something over the top of a linebacker coming in.
Yep.
Then, I mean, that's going to put you on a pretty good track to win.
And then, I mean, with Ventrell not being there, now Ventrell's not great in coverage. I'll give anybody that. But he's also not bad, and he's the leader of the defense. So with him not being there in the first half, like you said, that I think that's a viable option. I think that's a real possibility. They start hitting some big gainers as the linebackers crash down because they're tired of getting the ball ran down their throat. And so then you hit that little pop pass over the top of them, and then you get a 25, 30-yard gain, and Trey Dean probably misses a tackle, so then that goes for a tutty. And that's
Ryan Fitzgerald will miss the extra point.
so it's 6-0. That's good.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Better than 7.
What about you, Chris? What are your keys to the game or the early thought processes for Florida State and Florida fans if you want to go there?
Yeah, I'll do both. I think for Florida State fans, I think the key will be kind of what both of you just said. I think Clayton's right in that you got to feed Benson, especially if 51's not playing. If Ventrell Miller's not, I understand that you say, "Hey, let's throw the ball," because no. I hear you.
No, you're going to run it at him until
I'm going to run it where
he was
51
supposed to
normally is, because he is so freaking. He is a linebacker in every sense
Absolutely.
of the word.
Yeah.
In every description of the word linebacker, it fits 51. He's fizzing the ball so fast that you think we're going to run a play. We might sit back and chill for a minute, but I'm going to make 21 is going to run his ass off sideline to sideline.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and get him stuck on the field. But with me, I think they have to run the football. I think give 3 the football. I think Jordan Travis has to be dynamic. I think that's it. I think if Florida State is moving the ball relatively effortlessly down the field in the first drive is key because they do a very, very good job in the first drive.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't put too much stock in the first drive. It'll be the second drive for me. The second drive, if they're moving the ball and it's rhythmic and they're kind of getting it going, then I would, as a Seminole fan, I'm taking a deep breath.
Yeah.
I'm not like, hey, we're not here yet, but
right.
This is on the right track. I think now to flip that coin, if Florida comes out and punches them in the mouth, and they're very much so capable, and they handle their business, and AR-15 has a good grasp of the offense, and he's doing what he should do, as far as his command of the offense,
right?
And Napier's giving him easy completions and easy reads and one read type of deal, and he's executing it, and people are catching the football and they're making plays. I think then like a little bit of a scare goes through all Seminole spines because we're like, oh boy, because that is the recipe for them to pull off the upset.
Yeah. Okay. I like this.
Yeah,
this is good.
It's exciting. I'm excited. Like this game has juice. Like
it really does.
They didn't really have juice. If Florida wouldn't have got beat by Vandy, my God, they would have had a lot of juice. Because both teams
right.
like 2 weeks ago were on a collision course for like.
Ranked matchup.
Yeah, ranked matchup, dominance, primetime, Friday night, 7:30. And you're right, Clayton. That freaking environment is going to be freaking nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be
You'll
rocking.
be there, right?
I'll be there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's going. If I didn't have a game, I'd be there.
I would be there if I didn't have a game.
It's going to be freaking rocking.
It'd be front porch on the road. It'd be great. But instead,
instead they scheduled the game. It's terrible. But yeah, I'm excited about that game. God Almighty, I'm excited. I hate that I won't get to watch it live, but the next best thing will be to watch it how we're going to watch it. That's cool.
Are you going to try to like not have any score updates at all?
I was
won't.
going to ask that earlier. Are you just going 0 dark 30 on social media? Or?
No, because I'm going to be in a social environment. So
Yeah, I don't
I'll
know
be
if
at a
that's
football
possible
game.
for you.
I'll literally have like 10 people give me this. When Florida State played, we played PK Young in Florida on a Friday, I guess.
Yeah.
Florida State played Louisville.
Yep.
I had every freaking Jordan Travis is dead. Like I got like 10 people came up. So there's no way. Like I'll know the score. I'll know when they score. I'll know all of those things. I will be pissed off though if we're not playing very well on Friday night and I'm getting updates about Florida State. Like I think people around me, they know better than to do that.
I'm going to really try hard not to look at the score and not to have people talk.
You're gonna know.
But there's zero chance that's
Dude,
that's
it's
gonna be
football
the
in the
case.
South, man. Like
It's
we're
either
gonna-
that or I'm going to watch the entire
Yeah.
game. I haven't decided which yet.
Over under 5 minutes into the game. You turn it on in the stands.
Yeah, I'll definitely have my phone charged in case I want to do that because
Yeah.
it's going to be tough.
I'm gonna do my best to not know like play by play. I'll know the score. There's no way around that. But I'm gonna do my best not to know play by play. Like I don't want to know.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. I know it's going to happen to that.
It's 100% going to happen. But
Just on this, we may do a show Saturday night.
or Saturday around lunchtime.
Yeah. We may.
No, I won't. We will not do one Saturday night, but because I won't be in the right shape for that. But we can do one around lunchtime.
My guy.
Oh
Hey,
man.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
We need to do our picks. We need to make our picks, our prediction. This is time. We're here. We're here now.
I'm gonna let you go first, Chris.
I'm going Florida.
I knew you would.
No, but I mean, yeah, okay.
But do you
always
actually believe that?
Yes, because 9.5 is wrong.
Because you've picked against Florida State every week, and I know what you're doing. I see you working. But
I believe it. I definitely believe it this time because 9.5 is wrong because we won't see that. So can we go? I'm not gonna do it yet. 9.5 is too much. If we saw the team that Vanderbilt saw, okay, that's fine because that didn't maybe 19.5.
Right.
Like they have the capability of running Florida out of there.
I agree.
If we see that team, we won't see that team. They will not. We will see the best version of AR-15. I just think 9.5 is too much. Give me 9.5. It's almost double digits. It's too much.
My only thing about this is Vegas knows that too. I think like they're not.
I don't know that they do. If they did, they wouldn't have it at 9.5.
I think Joey's point about there being so much variance is really good. I mean, this could have easily been a 4.5 point game, or it could easily be a 13.5, 14 game.
or like he just said, 19.5. I think is a viable option too.
Pick it and let's handicap it.
What do you have, Clayton?
Yeah.
I've already got you wrote down for FSU. So
Yeah, a wise man, Chris Martinez, once told me that good teams win, great teams cover. Give me the Knowles, 9.5.
I love it, but I don't love it.
Beverly Lassiter, contender, pretender is coming, or buy or sell. We can kind of coincide with that. So yeah, it's coming. Matt Mahoney asked, quick question: has anyone ever lost two rivalry games in the same day? USA versus England and UF versus FSU. Dude, you don't have to worry about that. USA is going to draw, so you don't have to worry about the loss there.
It's probably a good value on a draw. Probably plus 220.
Yeah, I think I looked earlier and it was around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that for a reason. So.
USA's plus like 375, I think.
Yes, they are.
Somewhere
They are.
around there.
So Florida State, my pick. I do think Florida comes out, and I think they play well. I think they punch them in the mouth early, and I think they keep it close. I'm not sure that I believe that they win the game, but I think they keep it within 2 possessions.
That's my point. Like 9.5, you don't have to even win the game, and it really doesn't have to be that close. You could lose by a touchdown and still cover.
Yeah, I need
That's why
that. I need that contender versus pretender in that Riley had to make sure that's in there.
Yeah.
I think they have the ability to win. Whether they do or not, I'm not 100% sold on. I'm not even 100% sold that they cover, but I think there's a better chance that they cover than they don't. I'm going to put it at 55-45. That's how confident I am in this.
Yeah.
So,
Do we want to talk real quick because there's a narrative around that
Yeah.
Florida's not talented.
yeah, let's go through this real quick, and then we'll talk about Richardson again because I think that's part of the talent.
Yeah. I do want to talk about this. And
then we'll go to the rest
We
of the
don't have to
stuff.
spend a ton of time on this.
Yeah.
So 247 Sports, which is pretty reputable. Can they see this right now? Yeah. Okay. So they have this tool, I guess. And it
Sure.
talks about the rosters of football programs and
Right.
their star rankings of every player on said roster. And so Florida is currently 12th
They are 12th.
nationally.
Yep.
And Florida State is, I think, 17 or 18.
17.
17th nationally.
Yep.
So, like, Joey, do you buy my question really quickly? Do you buy into the hype or the conversation that Florida is not talented? Or they're not as talented as their opponents?
I think that Florida has talent on the roster. Absolutely, I do.
Okay.
I think they are probably a top 15 to 20 talented roster in the country. I do believe that as well. I know the numbers say, what was it, 9? 12.
12.
Yeah.
So 15 is close.
Right.
I'm
So
not gonna argue with you
I
about
do
it.
think that. I think that some of those numbers are skewed. Lorenzo Lingard was a 5-star. Justin Shorter was a 5-star.
He's your leading receiver, though.
That's fine. He's not a 5-star.
But he's your leading receiver.
That's cool. He's not a 5-star.
So, but I'm saying, like, the
So
in-game production is there.
right.
He's
Well,
the leading.
for him. In-game production for a Florida receiver, yes. Sure.
He's the leading receiver, though.
for Florida. Right.
He's the most talented receiver on your team. Stats say it. Numbers say it.
That doesn't mean does he have an NFL career ahead of him?
Oh, I don't know about that. We're talking about college football. I don't want to get it twisted.
Well, talent to me leads to NFL production. It leads to the NFL. Justin Shorter will never play it down in the NFL.
He will.
Never.
He will.
He will not.
He will.
Neither would Trayvon Grimes, who was also a 5-star.
No, he won't.
Okay, it's the same guy, except Trayvon Grimes is more athletic. So no, he will not play it down in the NFL. Lorenzo Lingard, I love the guy. I think he's a fantastic human.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yes.
I wish like hell that dude was successful at Florida.
Yes.
He will not be. He's going to transfer, and I wish like hell wherever he goes, he's successful. He's not a 5-star caliber player.
He's not.
He's listed as a 5-star on our roster, though.
Yeah, of course.
So those numbers can be skewed, is my point.
A little bit, but it's a barometer of where you
Florida
are.
is 12 here. I think they're probably closer to 15 to 20.
Where's AR-15 on this list?
Somewhere around the 20, 22, 23 range, it looks like.
Would you agree with that?
No, I think he's probably near the top.
Damn right, I agree. So it balances out.
Sure, I guess, but is he the most talented? Hey, he's probably one of the more
Yeah,
talented
no,
guys.
but my point is, like, so yes, we can dog Justin Shorter for being not what he should be by numbers, but even though he is a leading receiver on the team, but you're getting credit for. So while that is maybe knocking it down a little bit because you're getting penalized because Justin Shorter's ranking is 994 or whatever it is,
Right?
Absurd. But you're also
Absurd.
getting credit from AR-15 being 20 something. Like, get real. He's number one.
Sure, maybe. I guess. I mean, he is. He is number one for Florida. I don't think that I'm going to hold, me personally, I don't hold a lot of weight into that. Does it matter? Yes. Like I said, I think Florida's 15 to 20 in range right now in talent. I think that Dan Mullen was good enough as a recruiter to get talent there for what he wanted to do. Mullen and Napier are not the same guy. That offense and this offense is not the same offense. So
At all.
And I don't think that you can compare talent, just like pure talent, to fit systems. I think systems are different in college. Now, if you're talking about the NFL, talent means more than anything because the systems aren't all that different from team to team. Does that, do you agree with that at all?
A little bit.
I just don't think that Florida's talent level is as relevant as what they want to accomplish on offense and defense. I think that eventually this roster, even if it is right now, if they had 3 years under the same staff, I think talent would look better.
But my issue with Gator fans is the knock on Dan Mullen was he didn't have talent. Mm-hmm. He was a hell of a game day coach. He's the best game day coach. There will not be a better one go through Gainesville. Game day coach. There's not.
Steve Spurrier? You talking about going forward?
Moving forward.
Probably not. Maybe not for a while anyways. It's not Billy Napier.
Damn straight ain't Billy Napier.
No, it's not.
Okay, so but the knock is like the talent's so bad. It isn't so bad. It's not so bad. It's 12th, or 15th or 20th in your case. Like, it's not so bad. How many quarterbacks would you take over Anthony Richardson? Truthfully,
15 to 20.
Stop it.
I would.
I want to speak for Gator fans. I don't.
No, it's not 15 or 20. It's not. It's not. I'm not gonna ask you to name 15 or 20. But could you start naming your top 5 and I'll stop you when I would take Anthony Richardson?
Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. I would take Hendon Hooker right now.
No, he doesn't have an ACL.
Yeah. Okay. Prior to ACL. Caleb Williams, I'm taking him.
Okay.
Quinn Ewers, I'm taking him.
No. Are you serious right now?
Yeah, I would take Quinn Ewers in a heartbeat.
You're serious? You mean that?
I think that he's just as talented in the arm as anybody in the country.
And nowhere close on his legs.
He runs a 4.6. It ain't like he's slow. It ain't like he doesn't
AR-15 is freaking bigger and faster.
Right, and Quinn's 18 and has more understanding of the football game than Anthony Richardson.
I don't know if I believe that.
I'm positive he does. Watch Texas play.
Okay. Okay. So we're at 5 if you say Ewers.
You told me to name 5. I named 5.
Okay, well,
I
stopped you at freaking 5.
Yeah, off the top of my head, that was 5.
Jordan
listen,
Travis?
I take Jordan. Yes, I take Jordan Travis over Anthony Richardson.
I agree. I would take him over Quinn too. But
I would too. I forgot about him. Thank you for that.
Yeah, there's one. But not 20, Joey. Not 15 or 20. I'm going to allow you to backtrack that a little bit.
Talent alone?
On your roster.
Talent alone.
On your roster.
Talent alone, Anthony Richardson's up there. He's high.
Up there. As in top 5.
Top 10, yeah, sure. Top 7. I still take all those guys above him regardless of anything. All of them. I don't take Will Levis above Anthony Richardson.
Oh my God, Joey!
I don't take Will Levis above Anthony Richardson.
Okay.
What if we just look at the ceiling? Because you and I have had this conversation.
Oh, ceiling alone?
That's
what we're talking about. With talent, that's what we're talking about.
That's what I think we're talking about.
Okay.
With talent, we're talking about ceiling.
You said who would I take as a quarterback right now?
Oh, I would take and that's what I said, and that's what I meant.
All those guys. I would take all those guys over Anthony Richardson.
Okay. I can't imagine you finding.
If we're talking about ceiling, like who could be the best, Anthony Richardson's at the top of that list. He could be as good as we've seen in a long time. That talented. They do. These guys thought
This is
Lorenzo
what,
Lingard.
we're not talking about outliers. Well, Lorenzo Lingard before the damn ACL injuries and knee injuries was freaking a stud. Go the film.
In high school?
Yeah.
Good high school film. I agree.
It's a great high school film.
The really good high school film.
But I'm saying, like, he got injured.
Noel
like,
Devine
it's an
had really good
outlier.
high school film. Like people
Oh,
have
well, Noel
good high
Devine was very good at West Virginia. Don't throw shade at Noel Devine. I will not stand
we
for
will not
that.
allow that
No,
slander.
we can't have that.
Here's the problem that.
Yeah, let me hear it because you wanted to poke holes in this earlier in the group text. I want to hear.
No. The problem with Anthony Richardson is his ceiling is as high as it could possibly be. His floor, though, is pretty low.
So, okay.
Like, we've seen the floor. Like, let's say maybe the Kentucky game.
Yeah.
That's a pretty low floor. So if we're going to take the average of that, right? I don't think he is top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right?
Was he healthy in the Kentucky game? Because that was the word in Gainesville is that he refused to run and he got hit early.
Right, and that's what
a
people
mentality
said.
thing,
but that's
though.
what people said, and then it happened again, and it's happened again, and it's happened at Vandy now. Like this isn't a one-time thing anymore.
Dog,
like,
he threw for 400 yards.
It did not happen at Vandy. Take that one back. Take that one back.
Also,
take that one back.
He didn't run. He didn't run against Vandy. That's why they lost the game. That is why they didn't score in the first half because he didn't move the ball with his legs. They scored 14
Except for the
points.
fact that
they
Montrell
scored
Johnson-
14 points in the fourth quarter to make it close. It wasn't a close game. They were down 3 scores in the fourth quarter
I totally
to
agree.
Vanderbilt.
Except for Montrell Johnson dropped a freaking walk-in touchdown. That AR-15 put it on his hands.
He did.
No,
He
so
did.
like, and there's more examples of that because they dropped the freaking ball every freaking where that game.
did that.
And I'm trying not to say the F word here, and you're making it really freaking hard. Matt Mahoney comes on here. He added Drake May, Sam Hartman.
I agree with Drake May.
Jaden Daniels, Max Duck. I can't get behind, and I love Matt. Matt's awesome, and he's way smarter than me, so maybe he's right. Drake May.
I can get behind Drake, but he's talented.
He is talented. I totally agree. He committed Mac Brown, so I question his judgment automatically.
Mac
Okay?
Brown produces first rounders.
I'm not going to say how I feel about Mac Brown. We'll leave it alone. But Sam Hartman, Jane Daniels.
Yeah, Sammy Hartman's like you said earlier. He's a
He's
assistant
a system
quarterback.
guy,
I'm
and
good
y'all
on that.
apparently y'all are going to get him. But no, but
I don't believe that at all. Jaden Daniels, Max Duggan,
no. So with me, to me, like talent, it does. That's your job. Okay, Joe, you're a pitching coach.
Mm-hmm.
If I give you a guy, and you're going to lie, I know you're going to lie. If I
No,
give
I'm
you a
going to
guy
turn him
that's
into an All-American.
an uber talented kid,
100%.
uber talented kid, right?
Yes.
And I give you a kid that's extremely limited, but he is steady though. But he's
He
extremely
throws
freaking
94,
limited.
but it's everywhere.
No, 94. I wouldn't say that's limited. I wouldn't say that's limited.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying he's limited because he's got something wrong with him. Like 94, but he's
Which
can't
kid do
hit.
you want? You gotta stop putting your hand in front of my camera. That part. What kid do you want?
Of course I want the most talented guy.
Damn right. It's your job as a coach to figure it to freak out.
But if I have a guy that's 82 that can pinpoint anything and a guy that's 94 and throws it everywhere, but my 82 gets outs,
Yes.
yeah, I'm going to take my guy that's 82 that gets
Well,
outs.
then you need to coach better because you need to figure out how to make the guy at 94 throw freaking strikes, 91 miles an hour.
And we'll do that. And that's a
drop
project.
Let's drop some velo down. Let's figure it out. It's
And
your
that's-
job as a coach to figure it
Right,
out.
and that's a project. And eventually, he's going to get right. I promise you he's going to get right. Eventually. Is it going to be day one? Hell no, it's not going to be day one. It's not possible. It's not realistic to expect that to happen day one. Or even year one.
But you want to be your quarterback, though. You want him to be your ace. That's who you want to be your ace.
Yes,
That's
if
who
he-
gets your
if he's
time.
a
That's who
sophomore-
gets your effort. That's who gets your energy.
Absolutely. If he's a sophomore,
So what
junior,
the freak are we talking about?
my plan is for him to be my ace as a senior. Absolutely. My plan is for him to be an ace this year.
That's
If
Billy
he can
Napier's
be.
plan too, because he's the one to run him out there. He ain't running out the kid or the
Nor
other
should he.
jackass, the other kid that transferred to Syracuse.
Yeah, nor should he. He was awful.
Yeah, he's awful at Syracuse.
Yeah, I know, that's what I meant.
But y'all recruited him though. He's a great player.
He's a 4-star.
Celebrate that on high.
4-star.
Yeah, no doubt. They don't all pan out. That's
my point.
Okay, but listen, I hear where your point is. I think people miss all the time. If there's 85 guys on that list and it's averaged out, hell yeah, there's going to be outliers here or there. Florida State's number one is Damori Tate. Has never played a meaningful snap in his life. That's our number one.
Yeah.
Sam McCall's sitting at 3. He's fixing to leave.
True freshman, right?
Happy about that, though. Kick rocks, bro. He's not going to start on that. My point is, yes, there are outliers everywhere, but like I think when you put a group of 85, you get a pretty freaking good average. And to say that Florida isn't talented is, in my opinion, is neglecting the issue at hand if you're turning a blind eye to it. And if I'm a Gator fan, like that's not accurate. That's not realistic. And Riley had a good point. Coach Reed put on there.
Right.
He said
Key
their
positions.
talent in critical positions
Right.
is not where it should be.
Right.
Do you agree with that? Can we cut that in half a little bit? Can we talk about it? Do you agree with that?
I think
What position?
receiver's bad.
Is that critical position?
I feel like you have to create separation and get open and understand defenses. And I don't think
Pearsall does that.
Pearsall absolutely does that.
He does.
Your guy Justin Shorter does not do that. He's not.
He's your leading receiver, though.
and he's very limited in what he does.
I think I probably agree with that.
Pearsall can do a lot of different things.
I agree with
Pearsall
that.
is really good.
Okay, so when I think of critical positions, I go quarterback first.
Right.
He
O-line.
touched the ball on every single play.
Right.
And then offensive line.
Right.
Florida's offensive line is very freaking good.
Very good.
Very, very good.
100% agree.
Those are critical positions to
Absolutely.
me. All 5 of them.
D-line?
So okay, let's go to D-line.
Right.
Gervon Dexter. Elite football player.
Prospect.
Yes. He's an elite football player.
Is he an elite football player, though, Chris?
I think so. His PFF grades show in the first half when he's fresh. He is. I don't think he had any depth. They have to play him too much. So he wears down a little bit in the second.
That makes
half.
sense.
His PFF grade is in the 90s in the first half.
Really?
Yes.
I'll take your word for it.
Second half he's in the 70s and it bottoms out. He's playing too many snaps. That's why people have rotations at D-line. You know that too. Like the depth isn't there.
There you go.
Okay.
I agree with that.
So
Depth in a key position is not there. Because Desmond Watson's not
we didn't
that
say
guy.
depth. We said talent and key
Right,
positions.
okay, talent, but
Yes, I agree. I'm not gonna argue that. You're right. Yeah, depth.
Because that plays a role. It has to.
It does.
And
Yep.
depth is
I
horrendous.
think we're actually getting to that.
That's
What he
exact-
just said is,
right.
and I think I agree with that. But like, let's just should Florida be 6-5?
No.
No, not at all.
Should they be 7-4? Probably.
You told me
8-3.
You told me at the beginning of the year that 9 or 10 wins was more likely than 8 wins. You said that on air. Yes, sir.
We're gonna need to go back and
we're gonna fact
revisit
check that.
Yeah,
yes,
we
sir.
need to.
He did. You did. Because I was shocked by that. And then we did the win totals, and then that said something different.
You said that.
You
Because
said
I
9 or 10
I
is
thought I
more
tempered
likely.
expectations in this nonsense.
You did on the projections. We'll go back. We can run it back. We got a great producer. He can find it. Not right now, but we'll find it for you.
I just wanted to say that producer Rolf will not be going through and finding this. If
I'll
you
find
want to
it.
prove your point,
I'll find it. I'll find it. But they have underachieved, in my opinion. They've underachieved. And you're saying they've only underachieved by 1 game. But my thing is, like, what I don't like is, like, to say that they're not talented, to me, is misguided. And that's like being an ostrich and, like, just digging your head into the sand and, like, avoiding what's actually happening.
Okay. I mean, and that's your opinion. I don't believe that opinion. I'm not saying they're not talented. I think they have talent on the roster. I do believe that. I think that talent alone means much less in college football than it does in a lot of other places. I know at high school football, you can have talent and they can carry you to a lot of wins. I know that. I know at college, in college football, when you're playing, let's say Jackson State, for instance. If you're at Jackson State, you can have more talent than everybody you play and you can still win. When you're at Florida, you don't have that ability. More talent doesn't exist than Georgia or Alabama. It doesn't exist. It's not a realistic possibility.
And what takes over in those instances?
Coaching takes over.
Correct. That's all. That's my point. Boom. I'm done.
Right. But and my whole point this whole year, and I don't think that Napier's been perfect by any stretch. I think Patrick Toney's been pretty. I've said that from the last 4 or 5 weeks. Like I think that they've been okay, but I don't think they've been as bad as some people do, and I don't think they've been as good as some people have. I think they've been somewhere in the middle. I think they're going to get better because with time, and we don't understand just yet. And so talent-wise, yes, I think they're talented, but what they've shown on the field does not equate to the talent.
Maybe you're right, but I know this much. We've coached on teams, Joey, and Clayton, you've played on a team. We were not as talented as the other team, but because our kids were coached better through the week and they were gritty and they grinded and they believed in the message and we put them in situations to have success, we won football games that we weren't necessarily supposed to win because our talent level wasn't where it should have been.
Right.
So, like, to even say that the talent, and this is me conceding a point that I don't necessarily agree with. I don't agree with that. I think Florida is as talented as they need to be. But he's recruiting at higher than the top 12 class. What is it?
FSU by 30.
I said that. Yes, okay, can't agree. Love it. Love the energy. But, like, I think the talent is where it needs to be, or it's trending in the right direction.
I agree with that.
So, like, if we're not winning games, I'm about to get myself in trouble. I'm not going to do it. I think you have to coach your way into wins. Like, and that's
Absolutely.
But that's not
Absolute
happening.
Is it happening in Tallahassee right now?
No, they haven't had a coach away into a win yet. Nope, they're 8-3.
Okay.
They're winning by talent. They're not outcoaching people. They're not. If they would have beat Clemson, they would have outcoached them. They didn't outcoach Clemson. They got beat by Clemson. They didn't outcoach them. I don't think they got pencil whipped. I don't think they got like super outcoached. But I don't think they didn't cover that gap by coaching. I don't think so.
Can I make a point?
Go ahead.
My point goes back to these stats. Offensive numbers really aren't terrible.
For Florida.
They're really not. And we've already established on this show that Patrick Toney, over time, develops the defense into being better and better and better as the time goes on. So I don't think it's shocking to see the defensive stats being not as great. I think that's the weaker side of the ball anyway, talent-wise from Florida anyways. So you combine the fact that we're weaker on that side of the ball, that Patrick Toney's in his first year. None of this is surprising. I think it's a good sign to see the offense doing what it should do. I mean, 23rd, 5th, 68th isn't great, but I just don't see like the problem in the coaching yet. If this is like year 2 or year 3, I'm giving you all the credit in the world. Like 100%, coaches aren't doing what they're supposed to do. But I think it's a little too premature to have this conversation.
My point, and I agree with you. I think I think you cannot make the excuse that the talent is where it should be. Is the year 1 coaching overcoming the talent gap? Or that's hard. You're coaching in year 1. That's tough. I'll be the first to admit that. I think the jury will tell, and maybe I'm either going to be way wrong or I'll be way ahead of it. When you don't have AR-15 as quarterback, I'm curious to see what it looks like. Because right now we said he's the linchpin to making everything work. Well, you won't be there next year, so we'll find out how great of coaches they are then. And maybe they're going to be great. But to answer Matt's question, he said, who's underachieving, AR, Napier, or the defense? I think you can make an argument for all three. I think the defense for sure, they're underachieving. I don't think they're doing what they should do. I understand that the depth isn't great, but like they got dudes, man. There's dudes over there. Like, I mean, they're young, yeah. There's growing pains with young kids for sure, like no doubt about it. But the other side of it is Napier. I think if Mullen was the offensive coach, that AR's numbers would be even better. He would put him in situations to have better success. He made Felipe Franks looks good, and he's a tight end in the NFL right now.
If Dan Mullen's the head coach, Anthony Richardson isn't the quarterback. We're
He's
still
not
rolling
playing,
out.
yeah.
We're still rolling out Emory Jones.
Emory Jones, yeah.
No, he's gone. and if so, then Emory Jones is looking good too. Dan Mullen can coach quarterbacks. No?
No, he can't. No,
okay.
He
You
can't.
shook your head like
he
this.
can,
and
but
I
he
was like,
also likes to hang with Felipe Franks a little too long. And Felipe Franks was never the best quarterback in Florida. You know that. You went to a practice. You went to
100%.
multiple practices.
I saw it, yeah.
You saw firsthand that Felipe Franks was never the best quarterback there.
Nope.
Just like Emory Jones was never the best quarterback there.
No.
That's just the way it is. So
was he right about Kyle Trask?
He didn't recruit Kyle Trask.
But he played him.
He didn't have a choice. If Felipe Franks never dies on the field, then Kyle Trask never goes in the game. No. So is he right? Absolutely not. He was not right. He was wrong. He's dead.
So you think Napier's done a hell of a job on offense?
Did I say that?
I'm asking.
No.
Okay.
I think he's done good enough. I think he's
Who's
done
better
good enough.
offensive coordinator, Billy Napier or Dan Mullen?
Dan Mullen.
It's not close.
It's not close. I've agreed with you from the beginning. I think Dan Mullen's a brilliant offensive mind. I think if he goes to Alabama and be the offensive coordinator, I don't know that they ever lose a game while he's there. It'll be a scary thought.
It'd be better than where they got Bill O'Brien.
Same thing at Georgia. Like if he goes to a place where he doesn't really have to recruit it, they just recruit themselves.
Totally agree.
He's scary. If he goes to the NFL, that offense, that's scary. That's a scary. I don't care what offense he goes to. That's a scary offense.
Probably agree.
But he was not the right fit at Florida to be the head coach, and I was wrong on that. I wish I was right because I like the guy. I think he's
to
very
kind of go
brilliant.
to Matt's question. I'm gonna ask you this: Do you think that AR-15 is just like limited in what he can do offensively?
I do.
Okay, and so then this brings me to my next point. Don't we both agree, find common ground here, that Dan Mullen is really, really good at giving quarterbacks what they do best and only what they do best and catering the game plan around what they're
we
well?
agree with that.
So I can't
But I
help
also
but think that it'll be better with him. I'm not saying Billy Napier is a bad hire. I'm just saying, and it sounds like it. It does sound like it. I don't think he's bad. I think he's a really good hire. I do. I think that the narrative that Florida doesn't have talent is setting Gator fans up for failure. Like, I think you're ignoring an issue that he may not be as good of a game day coach. Like, I don't think Florida's going to be just blowing everyone out, and they may just very well do it on Friday against Florida State.
That won't happen.
But my I'm saying is, like, I don't think the offense is just going to be some juggernaut that it wasn't at Louisiana.
No, it never was. But
so, like, why would
at
it
the
be
same
here?
time, but at the same time, like, if you go back and we can watch it on Saturday morning, like when you go back and you see like every play and you see the guys that are open and the guys that get missed and the guys that never even get the ball thrown to them and all that, like that's on Anthony Richardson more than it's on Billy Napier at this point. And
I agree. Go ahead. Sorry.
And
I
I'm
didn't mean to
not
cut you off.
like this is not an Anthony Richardson bash. I think that again, I think the ceiling for Anthony Richardson is high as anybody in the country.
Yep.
I truly believe that.
So
I think the floor, however, is also really freaking low because we've seen it several times.
I agree. So then my question to you, and I don't know the answer,
Mm-hmm.
are they? And this is my question again. I don't know the answer. Are they giving him what's best for him? If he has a hard time reading defense, then let's give him a one read and let's see if he'll tuck it.
I think they're doing that now. I think that's the problem. I think that's why we see so many max protect 2-man routes because he's struggling.
So you think they're spoon feeding it to him as good as they possibly can? And they may be. I don't know the answer to that.
I think
you've watched way more Florida snaps than I have.
I think that they're doing the best they can, giving him easy reads. Yes. I think I know Gator fans don't want to hear this, but I don't know that Dan Mullen was wrong last year.
About not playing him?
Yeah.
And maybe he wasn't.
I don't know that he was. I think ceiling wise, he's high. But if we're talking about, like Tyler said earlier, an average between floor and ceiling, it's closer to the floor right now than it is the ceiling. So that's I think that's the issue that they're having. I don't know that. I know a lot of Gator fans want Napier to hire an OC. He may need to do that.
I doubt he's going to do that.
He probably won't, but he may need to.
Before we get too far off, because I want to hear what you have to say, Joey. We both coach, so I know the answer to this.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to like trap you, but I'm kind of trying to trap you.
That's fine.
Your job as a coach, if the ceiling is high and the floor is low, your job is to raise the floor and let's see how close we get to the ceiling.
Absolutely.
That's your job.
Yeah.
Because I think this, I don't think he's playing that bad of football.
He's not. That's the scary part is he's really not playing that bad of football. But he's not playing that good of football. There's plays, and it's not just him. That's my whole thing with all of this, Chris. It's not just him.
It's
that's
not an
playing
isolated
awful.
thing. I agree.
It's Justin Shorter not being in the right spot. It's Montrell Johnson dropping touchdowns.
Yeah, that can't happen.
No tight end on the field is ready to take that next step to be a great tight end. There's a lot of factors that play into this, and you think it's talent, and the talent is there. I think the talent is close to being there, but I think if this was another 2 years from now, I think talent-wise it would look better than it looks right now. It doesn't look great talent-wise to fans. Does that make sense? You know what I mean?
I understand. I think that's probably your best point. Will you say that one more time because it's clear?
I think that the talent doesn't look great right now to fans, but because the system isn't perfect right now.
Correct.
I truly believe that. I think in 3 years, this same group has 3 years with them. The talent has better optics than it has right now.
I agree. I think I agree with that. I think I can find common ground. I think we can bury it there.
Had no idea this segment was going to go this long.
I'm sorry.
I don't care. I'm good with it.
But for me, I think that the product, which is what you're talking about scheme-wise, the product does not look talented because it is in year one. So, for me, the jury's still out. I think because there is talent in the roster. The cupboards are not bare. I'm tired of seeing that. That's a fallacy. That's false. There is talent in that locker room.
Right.
A lot of talent.
Sure.
Okay.
We agree there.
But I think and maybe this is the part that this is my point is I don't think it's fair to say for Gator fans to say there's not talent on the roster. That's garbage.
Right.
What may be more fair to say is the coaching hasn't had time. The kids haven't been in the system long enough. We don't feel as coordinated. They're not as gelled right now because of this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But for the excuse to be we're 6-5 because the talent isn't right is inaccurate. That's not right. That's wrong to me. As a Seminole fan, to me, that doesn't make sense. and I'm a football fan. Like I know I'm killing the Gators right now. I'm not, but I'm just being realistic. I said for the longest time that Florida State's talent was god awful, or that Willie Taggart can't coach his way out of a wet paper bag. Like I said those things, so I'm consistent. So don't come for me. Like I know it's coming, but like don't come for me if it doesn't go well Friday. I mean, I guess you can. I don't give a shit. But the talent isn't the issue in Gainesville, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Right. I don't think it's the sole issue. I think the talent alone is not the issue. I think the totality of the situation is the issue.
Good coaches overachieve all the time.
Agreed.
They're in year one, so it's hard for them to overachieve. I'll concede that. That's fine. That's fine.
I think that's where we're at right now.
I think
year
can
one,
get there.
I don't know that he has the ability to overachieve.
I think it's more accurate to say that the coaching hasn't had time to take effect, so they haven't even had time to really affect the product.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So a couple of things here. Where was the first one? Hunter said maybe got himself fired for accountability. Dan Mullen quit. That's the problem.
Okay.
That's the problem with him. Had nothing to do with anything other than he quit on his team, which is fine because he knew what the situation was. Mahoney said, "Is there a chance we're watching AR develop in real time? Take it back to high school in early Florida. Has he started in 20 games since he was 15 years old?" And I've said that for the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Like he didn't get developed in high school because he played like 6 games his junior and senior year in high school. Like he was injured, hurt, whatever you want to call it. He didn't play a lot in high school. Hasn't played a lot early at Florida. I do think you're seeing him develop in real time. And I think the game can't slow down as quickly as it needs to slow down because it's all happening so fast. Like it's so much different. Like when you're playing football at Gainesville Eastside, it's different than when you're playing against Georgia. And that's his first start of his career was against Georgia. They won the national title, and they're about to win another.
That was just last year.
And that was just last year.
No, and that's my point. It's
right, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is like he's supremely talented.
Yeah.
Like, can the development catch up to where he should be? No, probably not. Like an NFL team will get the best version of AR Anthony Richardson. Like that's what I'm saying. Is like that's my point. Is that kid is freaking good, and like the coach, like it just you got to find a way. Like you have to find results. Like how can you make it easier for him? And maybe they are. I'm not in their room. I don't know. Maybe they are making it as easy as possible, and that's what he can do. But that's what he can do.
Yeah. That's the first time we've had it on for over 2.5 hours, so maybe that's why I cut off.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Riley said he's playing good football, but he has missed some huge plays as well, and that's where I'm at. He has played well, but he's also played or missed play. Not played bad. He's also missed plays.
No, I agree with Riley and Matt. Well, both what they just said.
Yeah. So, do you want to go to the Justin Fields question?
Sure.
I think this is a good time to get to that.
Let's do it.
I think you put this in here, didn't you?
No.
Did.
What's the question?
Does Justin Fields' development have an impact on AR's draft stock? Did you put that in there? Tyler put that in there. How do you feel about that?
Yes.
I think so too.
100%.
That's a good question.
Great question.
It is a great question. I do. I think it does because I think same thing. He didn't necessarily have to develop from Ohio State because he played a lot at Ohio State.
Yeah.
But I do think that he had to understand football a little bit more. And I think he's starting to every week you see a little bit more from Justin Fields. His coaches are able to put a little bit more on his plate, and he's able to handle a little bit more, and he's starting to get a little bit of confidence in his ability. And this is year 2 for him. He didn't start the first 6 or 7 games last year. I do think that has an effect on Anthony Richardson because I think he has probably a higher ceiling than Justin Fields if we're being totally honest.
Totally agree. Clay, what do you think?
Well, I think it sets the model, like you said. Eberflus, or however you say his name, he didn't really start out, just throwing Justin Fields in the fire. They kind of worked into it more and more every week, which I don't think that AR has gotten the benefit of at Florida. But I'm hoping for his sake that the team who does draft him gives him that option. Like, hey, we're not going to just throw you in the fire and say, go win us games. Like, we're going to coach you along and we're going to open the offense up more and more each week.
You mean like the Indianapolis Colts are going to do?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, who
Jeff
starts?
Saturday's the GOAT.
Yeah, who starts for them though? If AR, you're welcome. If AR gets drafted this year by your Colts, who starts for them next year?
Anthony Richardson.
And that's a problem, right? We agree that that's probably a problem.
I mean, not necessarily. Like, what are the Colts' expectations next year, though?
I was gonna say it's not a problem if the Colts' expectations aren't to win the playoffs.
Okay, no, I don't agree, because if you go out and you play awful and you are terrible and he makes bad read after bad read after bad read and he looks like Zach Wilson, that's not a good situation to be in. Your confidence will get shook no matter. And he's already a guy that we've learned as Gator fans. We've learned that apparently he has a little bit of issue with his confidence anyways. So if he goes to that situation and he struggles a lot early and it never gets better, he's done. He never plays NFL football again because he was awful early. Whereas if you do like they did with Justin Fields and you ease somebody like that into the lineup and kind of get him some confidence early and, okay, these games don't mean anything now, so now we're like game 7, game 8, game 9, game 10 or whatever, and that's when he starts. Then it's a little different than day one. You're the starter. Hey, go win us some football games. I don't care what your expectations are. You're the NFL. You expect to win. That's just how it goes in the NFL.
Yeah, I think it just depends on what Ballard does as GM. You know, they have Jonathan Taylor. They have the highest paid O-line in football, so I think their expectation is to win now. If that's the case, I don't think Anthony Richardson has a lot of success, and I think that kills him. I
Right.
Really do.
So-
but if they play Sam Ehlinger and they play him for 7, 8, 9, 10 games,
Good God.
That ship sailed. He's getting cut in the offseason.
you were the one that liked him, not me.
I still like Sam Ehlinger. He gets cut in the offseason, but he's a good backup for somebody else.
I don't think he gets cut in the offseason. If they draft a quarterback, he's not getting cut. They want somebody that's been there.
Is Ryan on a 1-year deal?
Yes.
Yeah. God.
Yeah, Jesus.
Old noodle arm himself.
So, but my whole point is, yes, I think that Justin Fields' ability to play and do all that has gotten AR a little bit of more of, I guess, leap into the first round or whatever. But if he goes to a situation that is not conducive for his talent at this time, I think it's a failure to him. I think it's a failure for the franchise. I think it's a failure in a lot of accounts. I just think he needs the perfect situation if he goes this year to the draft. That's my thought. I don't think he's a day one starter. I don't think
that he should go to the draft this year, personally.
I don't either. I don't think he should either.
I think he gets
But
NFL money anyway, so it's not like you're
No, but if you're going first round, it's enough of us. Like, I don't care what your NIL money is. That doesn't matter to me. Your NIL money is irrelevant when you're a first rounder.
Who? We're
Anyway.
talking about AR-15 right now?
We're talking about I don't care who it
Okay.
is.
Yeah,
if you're a first rounder, NIL money is useless. I don't care how much it gets.
Oh, and here's the reason why. Because you're 1 year closer to the second contract.
Right.
It matters a little bit in the first contract.
Bingo. A little bit. A
When
tiny bit.
you're talking about $1 million for AR, I mean that's a lot of money.
Right.
It depends on how high in the first round too. But like those guys are in a race to the second contract.
Absolutely.
So like it
and
does
every
matter.
year you waste is a year that you have to wait to get to that second contract, which
Correct.
is the important one.
But you both don't think he should go pro?
I don't, unless he's a first. I'm like you always. I'll get your bag, homie. If you can be a first rounder, go.
So okay,
Should he
He's
be a
first
first
rounder?
You don't either?
Should he be a first rounder? I don't believe that he should be a first rounder in this point. I don't.
No, I don't think so either.
Really?
It just depends on who's there, who's available, and all that jazz.
I think he's a lock in the first round. He's gonna go run 4.4. He's gonna measure at 6'4", 225. He's gonna throw the ball 95 yards.
Well, I guess that's all that matters now. That's what Zach Wilson drafted.
That is all that matters.
It 100% is. Zach Wilson got drafted because he threw
off his back foot. We saw it on Twitter this week.
Yeah,
Yep.
he rolled out to his left and threw a ball to the middle of the field about 85 yards, and they were like, "Holy crap, this guy can play football!" With nobody on the field with him.
But
except for a receiver.
the precedent has been set.
It has.
Like, okay.
But does his failure make this situation a little more foggy?
No, because there's time and time of people before. General managers have egos. They want to be the one to go fix it. I can sign him. My coaches can coach him. Okay. Do you take Anthony Richardson or Zach Wilson?
Anthony Richardson.
Okay. Anthony Richardson, Mac Jones.
Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson, Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
Y'all are crazy.
No.
Nope. You're Anthony.
I think they're the same guy. One's just older right now. I think Trey Lance has that same ability.
Same guy?
They're both 6'4", 220. They both run 4.4s, and they both throw the ball 95 yards. That's what you just said, right?
Yeah, as Shane. Well, I didn't say. I was just doing a name out there. Tyler.
No. I know. But you said that's AR's numbers. That's Trey Lance 2 years ago.
One played in the SEC. One played in North.
One really didn't play.
Yeah, he didn't hardly play at all.
But I mean, as far as measurables,
in the first round,
measurables, I think they're very, very, very similar. That's a great comparison. I think.
I agree, and he went in the first round.
I think
Relatively
Josh
easy.
Allen's not a bad comparison either. I mean, Josh Allen
I can see that.
has had the benefit of coaching, But that's my point. If
He went in the
Anthony
first
Richardson-
round.
But he got drafted to a coaching staff that was brought in. Sean McDermott is one of the best coaches in the NFL. Anthony Richardson, there's no guarantee that he's going to get drafted by a first-round team this year that has a great situation.
I'm a Seminole fan.
So my whole thing is I think it depends. I think he's a first rounder, and I think he's a first rounder, and I think he goes.
I thought you said he wasn't.
He just said that he wasn't.
No, I don't think he should be a first rounder.
Okay.
I personally, Joey
You
Edge,
disagree with this.
I don't
Okay,
think he
I'm
should be
okay
a
with
first
that.
I
round
got you.
pick.
I've misunderstood you.
I think that he will go in the first round
Yes, I agree.
because he's 6'4", 225, runs 4.4, and throws it 90 yards.
Yeah, that's been my point for 3 weeks.
I think that is the case. I do believe that, and I think that he ends up choosing to go to the NFL.
I agree.
I think all those things happen. From there, if he goes to a bad situation, he will be out of the league as fast as Jamarcus Russell was.
I don't know if I can get there, but no, I mean, I agree. I think, but the precedent.
And the other,
Christian Ponder and EJ Manuel and Tim Tebow were all first round quarterbacks. The precedent has been set. Now we're throwing it back a little bit.
No,
None
that
of them
was-
lasted to the second contract.
And that was also 10 years ago. The league is completely different now, too.
No, I wholeheartedly agree, but we've seen example and example and example since. That was my point. It's been since 10 years. There's a huge sample set of teams reaching for quarterbacks.
and
It
there always
happens
will be.
all the time.
There always will be. I mean, I agree with that,
So
but that doesn't
that's
make
why
it
he'll
right.
go first rounder. But is it? But
I mean, we're talking risk reward here. That's what we're talking.
freak, yeah, return on investment is gigantic with that
It's
guy.
a very simple.
If you hit on a franchise quarterback with Anthony Richardson,
Another thing to ponder, and Hunter made this point just now. I don't know if he was trying to make it quite like this, but I'm gonna help him here if that's not what he meant. But like, do I trust an NFL? If I'm Anthony Richardson, do I trust an NFL organization to develop me, or Billy Napier to develop me? And so
I don't think that's the question. My opinion, I don't think that's the question. We're talking about money. In my opinion, that's the question.
okay. But if you don't ever make it to the second contract, your money is useless.
So these are alpha freaking males.
That's
Do
fine.
you think that Anthony Richardson is sitting and he's pondering? He's like, well, who can develop me? He's thinking, I'm that guy. I don't give a damn who's coaching me. I'm going to be that guy. Dude, they're alpha males, bro. You've been around those type of guys.
I have been
You
around those
think
type
they're-
of guys. I have.
You think they're wondering like,
You don't think Anthony Richardson is that type of guy?
I'm not 100% sure he is.
I mean, if the rumor is that he has confidence issues anyway.
he's still the starting quarterback for the University of Florida? Like if that's
But
the conversation that he's having with himself, well then forget about
But
it.
if my-
we
but-
need to stop talking.
But I'm also like, I'm not stupid. Like, I'm going to have that conversation with my family. Do I get better here or do I get better here? Because ultimately, I'm probably not where I need to be. I think we can all agree on that, right? Anthony Richardson's not where he needs to be as far as an NFL
He's
quarterback.
not pro ready.
No.
No, he's not pro ready.
Okay, so am I going to be more pro ready in a year if I stay in college, or am I going to be more pro ready in a year if I go to the pros team that I'm going to be on
And get guaranteed money.
and get guaranteed? I think that has to weigh into it, and I don't, like I said, I don't know if that's what Hunter was trying to say, but I think that has to play into the decision. Like, I don't trust Billy Napier. No offense to Billy Napier, but I don't trust him as much as I trust Sean McDermott to develop me.
Oh, so wholeheartedly, we're on the same page. Yeah, no, I agree. If that's the question, then it isn't stay in Gainesville.
Right. So if I have a chance to be a first rounder, I think I have to take that opportunity. I don't think I have a choice in this.
I've been saying that for 4 weeks, 4 weeks. I totally agree. Yes, I totally agree. If he gets a first day grade, he has to go, and he will go.
Yes.
There's not a conversation.
No, there shouldn't be.
The only conversation could be if he gets a mid-round grade.
Right.
That's the
If he
only
gets-
time there's a conversation.
Four through six, he stays, in my opinion.
Probably.
Maybe.
I think it's 3 through 5, and then 6 and 7. But
Okay, yeah.
3 through 5. Mid-round grade, he may stay.
You know, I don't know. It depends on his love for
Honestly,
Florida too.
and-
I don't know.
and It'll depend on who.
Because same situation there. If I'm a third through fifth round guy, it's probably going to be to a team that's probably pretty good that already
Yep.
has a quarterback in place
Yep.
to where I can sit, make
And
my
develop.
money, develop,
Yep.
learn, soak up any information that I can.
Yep.
No pressure, and then go whenever the time is to go.
So did we just talk ourselves into the fact that he's going regardless of his damn day grade?
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
That's probably what we just did. Yeah.
we just did. Yeah. Breaking news: Anthony Richardson is going pro. Like he should though.
If you're watching this, there was a 30-minute conversation, and we figured it out in 30 seconds.
yeah, correct.
Pretty wild.
He is gone.
He is definitely gone. Let's go
I
ahead.
hope he goes to the Colts. I
If
just have to
Tennessee
say
didn't
that.
draft Malik Willis, I would love to see Anthony Richardson in Tennessee.
Oh, that'd be a good situation.
Do you know when those grades are handed out asking for a friend from Matt Mahoney? I actually do not. I know it's after the season. They have to put their name in, blah, 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 blah.
They get it back. Yeah, it's before.
It's before bowl games.
Yeah. Because that's typically when they make their decision whether or not
Right.
they're going to play or not.
Which
Right.
is soft.
Which
by
is
the way.
bad. I agree with you.
can't
I agree
stand
with you.
that.
Country Club ad read. Make sure you go to the Country Club on this holiday.
Hey,
Sorry.
Redmond.
I have
All right,
to.
Bradford.
I have to. What do you want me to do? Yeah, make sure you go play golf at the Lake City Country Club. You want to play this weekend? We'll talk about it off air.
Yeah.
Go play golf at the Lake City Country Club. If you need a membership, if you need to go eat, whatever you need to do, make a reservation. Don't really care. Get the tee time for sure. It's going to be busy, I promise. Give them a call, 752-2266, and book your tee time for the Country Club at Lake City. And if you want to play, if you want to get beat by me and wager some money, let's do it because I'm ready.
Big fan. Big fan.
Can we give Clayton some time to talk about Denver sports?
I think so.
Hold on,
sat
we
here for
we
2
can do that,
hours.
but can you put this on the screen eventually too? It's in the show notes. It's
The
from
depth
it's-
chart?
No, is the depth chart next?
That's what's on my screen next.
Oh,
Lord, we haven't even made it to the show notes.
No.
Oh, is
Where's
this
the-
what I tagged y'all on there?
that's what I was gonna do. Yeah, where's the depth chart?
It's right
It's
there.
right above.
Right,
the
literally
Country
above
Club
it,
ad
dog.
read.
Clayton has literally been able to look at our show notes
Oh,
for the first time.
no.
in his
I
life.
put that in there for me.
Oh, okay.
We're good. That was just that. That's
Yeah,
my
put
fault.
that up there. Let's talk about this for a minute. I'm a big fan of that. Shout out to Hunter and Riley and Matt Mahoney and Bev and everybody that's in the chat tonight.
Yeah.
Love y'all.
I swear we're gonna get to the buy and sell, and it's just a
Yeah,
second.
it's coming. It's coming. Contender, pretender.
Yeah, or buy sell. We're gonna call it the same tonight.
MVP odds. And we're going to talk about it, like where we would place your bet. Joey, for you,
Yeah.
we'll let Clayton go last.
Okay.
Since he sent it. What is your Thanksgiving MVP odds? Just so you guys know, there's mashed potatoes and gravy. We're actually about to throw it up there for you to see it as well. Of course, the mac and cheese. There's pie, ham, rolls. I'm not going to go through the whole list. Those are
Yep.
just the front runners.
Yep.
Those are just the front runners. So, Joey, for you,
Yeah.
what is the your MVP, Thanksgiving MVP? What is it?
My personal Thanksgiving MVP is ham. It's the ham.
Plus 300 odds.
Yeah, and here's why. Because nobody likes turkey, so ham always has to come and save the day. Like that's the meat that you're gonna you're only gonna get turkey or you're gonna get ham, right? Nobody likes turkey. Nobody. There's not a single
That's
soul.
not true.
I like
No,
turkey.
If
I'm going to
you
be
s-
honest with
If
you.
you split turkey up into two groups, white and dark meat
Yes,
turkey,
sir. Talk to him,
give me
Clayton.
dark meat turkey at like plus 400.
Yes, talk to me.
One of the
I'm,
favorites.
I'm in. Also, you can make turkey and make it pretty good.
I agree.
I've learned this recently. You can.
Yes.
But ham is always going to be that consistent.
Ham would be my go-to.
Ham's going to be there.
Specifically like a brown sugar.
Yeah. Pineapple
With
look lit. Yeah.
I like that.
Look at that. Bev on
Spiral
there.
honey ham.
No doubt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Riley going with,
With the
the old
dressing.
dressing. Plus 850.
That's a great
Wow.
pick. Jared and I were talking about that on Twitter earlier.
I saw that. Yeah.
All right.
What's
Clayton,
yours?
Yeah, Clayton, where are you?
For me, mine's probably not on there, which I guess is kind of lame
Oh.
because I sent it in.
Plus 3,000?
Yeah. We'll make our own odds.
Yeah,
Plus
leave-
3,000.
leave it up there, roll.
Shout out to Mom because she's going to be listening to this later, tomorrow probably. Her homemade
Shout out,
corn
Angela.
casserole is one of the best things I've ever had.
Okay, so here's the deal. Corn casserole is all the way up to the very top. I would set the number if we're handicapping that 450. It's
Plus
just
450?
under. Yeah, plus 450.
Just under ham. Right,
Just
right
under
above
ham,
rolls.
in between rolls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Corn
I'm-
casserole is
that's fair.
elite, especially
So
if like
good.
it's homemade, like they know what they're doing. Oh, it can get like real corny quick.
Also, I
Jesus.
don't know who
Yeah,
was in charge of
Slate.
that list, but whoever had Brussels sprouts as a bigger MVP favorite than cornbread.
So
Kick
the hell's
wrong.
wrong with
rocks.
you?
So wrong.
What's wrong with
Kick
you?
rocks.
No doubt.
Who's your long shot here?
Oh, can I name my favorite?
Yeah.
Mac and cheese.
That's your
a
favorite.
long shot?
Yeah. No,
No,
not my long shot. It's
No,
just
that's
who I
just
would
his favorite.
pick.
He's
Like-
going
Oh,
with the
corn
Bradford
casserole
picking
for
the
real.
chalk.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I'm not going mashed potatoes and gravy. We'll go right underneath it. Mac and cheese. I think
Yeah.
it's elite. It just goes with anything. Whether you go ham or turkey, whatever you choose, it doesn't matter. You throw like mac and cheese, good baked mac and cheese in there. Come on.
Yeah. What's your long shot?
Green bean casserole.
Green
It's
bean
not
casserole?
close.
My long shot is turkey because if you make it right, it can. And like you said,
That's
the
my
dark
thing.
meat.
Yeah, the dark meat.
Yeah. So if you make it like a good smoked turkey, that's got some juice to it. It's
But
pretty
if
solid.
he
Turkey
said
is
turkey,
the Anthony Richardson of Thanksgiving foods.
Ooh.
The dark meat
What a
ceiling is so high, but the white, dry, mouthful of sand turkey floor is so low.
You have to
low.
drink your sweet tea to get the turkey down.
Well, I don't drink sweet tea, but like, yeah,
beer, yeah.
I don't like any tea. I don't
What?
know.
Okay, so let me give you my long shot, and then we need to get Rolf's.
Yeah.
So if we throw corn casserole at 450, it's not a long shot. I'm gonna go cornbread here on this list. Like cornbread, elite cornbread, like sweet corn. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's really tough to beat, man. It's really tough to beat.
I like that as a long shot.
At plus 2,500 odds, like
It's really well like buttered. and,
oh
like,
my god, yeah, like a majority butter on top.
Yeah.
Like there should be like two colors, right? Like it should be like this soppy like butter top.
Yeah.
And then like the rest of the cornbread.
Absolutely.
That's how you know you've done it right.
I keep looking at Brussels sprouts and I want to punch somebody in the face. This is really bothering me.
I've never I don't know that I've ever had a Brussels sprout.
I have not for
I,
sure.
I absolutely
Zero
agree.
desire. Zero.
I've had one, just not at Thanksgiving.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Hypothetically speaking,
I can't wait. This is the
yeah.
longest show in the history. The longest show in the history of Front Porch Sitting.
okay,
And I'm
it's
here
allowed.
for
We
it.
are
I don't
Threatening
care.
the Mike Williams episode right
okay,
here.
so
Which
what?
is one of our best, so I'm okay with it.
Almighty, I'm putting myself out there.
We're 2 hours in. No one's listening.
Beer. Where does beer fit on like Thanksgiving Day schedules? Like where is your opinion? Where is when is it allowed? Like when is the acceptable time, if at all, to open up a cold beer?
I personally don't know that I can do it while I'm eating my meal. I like when we start the Turkey Day football game.
Yeah.
That's when you pop the top.
So you're like 3 o'clock, no sooner.
No, I'm not saying 3 because if you eat at 12 and you're
Oh.
done by 1,
Y'all eat that early?
I mean,
Some
my
people do.
God, bro. Come on,
whatever
stop.
37 minutes after the final
Yeah, no.
breath of
Because my thing is, I don't
This.
eat Thanksgiving every day. I can drink beer anytime, so why would I waste room for beer?
that's a valid point.
We just drink through it.
After dinner, we just drink through it. Riley said turkey is the long shot MVP because it is a huge contributing factor to the giblet gravy, which may be the Turkey Day MVP.
Giblet gravy.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
I'll be honest, I don't know what that is.
You don't know what that is?
Well, yeah.
Can I get like a jar of that? Like a
Bev
spoonful
says
of that?
after dinner for food or for beer.
Right around the time the Cowboys are losing.
It's 4 o'clock. Yeah,
Huge
3 o'clock,
yikes.
3:30.
Huge yikes. Yeah, that's right. That checks out. I'm cool with that.
Somewhat related. Joey told me this off air. He told me that. Can I say this?
I don't care what you say. We're 2.5 weeks into this damn show. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
He told me that Thanksgiving is the worst holiday.
It's my least favorite holiday.
False.
It's my least
I
favorite
told
holiday.
him
False.
just by
I'd
the
rather-
definition
but, like,
that we have off.
What
like,
are
we have no work.
holidays though? Like,
He
are we
j-
counting President's
he
Day?
said
No,
Halloween.
not President's Day. That
He
doesn't
said
count.
Halloween is more elite than Thanksgiving.
It
You're
is.
no false.
100%.
Yes, sir.
Halloween.
Yes,
Halloween all day,
100%.
every day,
him
everything.
no, because you don't get off.
I don't love any of it. I don't
You're
love.
not American.
I don't
man.
love dressing.
That's weird.
I don't love turkey.
That's
Ham is good.
This is your
Dress
worst
mac
take
and cheese.
ever on the front porch. That's fine. No, it's not the
yeah,
worst
that's
take. You're
debatable.
right.
There's been a lot of bad takes.
There's been some
There's
bad
been some good ones.
Okay.
Oh, my dad
Pause.
commented on your Arch Manning take. Dad thought that was bad.
Yeah, it
That
is.
Arch Manning would never play at Texas. Dad thought that was really bad.
He probably will play.
Yeah.
Also,
Might play next year. Quinn Ewers.
Yeah.
He's struggled at times.
Thanksgiving, you stuff your face and eat so much food. On Halloween, you give candy away to like
Not if you don't-
teenagers.
But that's, no, but
Not if you don't sit on your porch and do it.
That's what you're supposed to do. You're cheating the holiday. You
Yeah,
can't cheat the
I
holiday.
have children that I walk around the neighborhood though.
Oh well, if you didn't, you would be giving out grown adults candy.
Hence,
It's
I have
weird.
done that. I've done that before.
It's weird. It's not. That's weird. That's weird.
You know, I always have. So let me tell you
there's
about
there's
Halloween.
a joke that I'm not gonna say, but there's a joke about Halloween.
Yeah, I always have 2 baskets of candy for Halloween. I have the good basket and the bad basket. Any adult that comes to my house, they get the bad basket.
See, the fact that you even have to do that is just totally discredits Halloween.
with Halloween, you have to have some
Halloween-
feel. Like, you cannot be
Halloween's
going-
fun, man.
It's not. It's not.
I
I didn't
like
even
it.
dress my kid up. My kid's 2.5 years old. Mia didn't even get a costume for Halloween. That's how much we hate Halloween.
My thing is,
It's
Christmas and
garbage.
Halloween, I can celebrate that all month. I have movies, I have TV shows. All I have for Thanksgiving, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Great show. I'm not mad at it.
Or you have
It's-
NFL football
But I mean, that's different though. Like,
and turkey
I'm-
bowls. And beer's at 11.
My fantasy football team sucks. Like,
Oh, I hate fantasy football. It's the worst. This year, anyway.
yeah.
I hate it.
I traded for Cooper Cup, and next week broken ankle or whatever.
No, that's bad luck.
Yeah.
That's not great.
Yeah, we do occasionally open up a cooler a little bit early.
Occasionally.
Yeah, we'll be in it.
Yeah, I do. I'm not a Thanksgiving fan. I do like the day off. I do enjoy that.
Thank you.
I like, and I get Friday off too, so it's even better.
Oh my gosh, you get 2.
Joey's crazy.
I had to put in PTO for tomorrow.
But I
would
can
be
take
on
any
the way
random
back.
Thursday and Friday off.
We
I
know,
don't.
Joey. You're big time.
But you don't have to take it off. That's
Yeah,
the thing. You don't have to use
you're
vacation
paid.
time.
You're paid
You're
off.
paid. And they give it to you. For
How do you
free.
know my schedule? How do you know I get paid to take that day off?
You live in America.
We actually do not get that day paid off.
I don't get
I had to
Friday
take
off.
PTO.
First
tomorrow.
Federal Bank does not get Friday off.
See,
Wonderful place
See,
to bank.
see. So you have to do all that nonsense on Thursday. Be with all your family that sometimes you like, sometimes you don't
Nonsense.
love. Sometimes
Oh
you
my
like,
gosh.
sometimes you don't love. 85 people at your Thanksgiving Day parade that you're having, right? You know about 37 of them.
What about the Macy's Day Parade? Isn't that great?
No, that's
What?
I love it.
I'm
Y'all are
selling the
crazy.
Macy's Day Parade.
I'm
We're doing
yeah.
buy or sell. I'm selling.
Let's go ahead. Let's jump into buy or sell real quick. Buy or sell Macy's Day Parade.
Are we
So-
doing that?
Sell.
Buy.
Sell.
Hard buy.
Give it away.
Hard sell.
Don't even need money for it.
I can buy for. I'll buy for $1 then because it's free according to you guys.
Buy or sell
mistake.
Christmas stuff up before Thanksgiving.
Buy
Buy.
100%.
Shut right
November
now.
1st.
Let's buy right
Oh,
now.
yes, I love you guys.
First week.
New segment, Joey Island, when he's all alone on a hot take. God, Jesus.
It's
Mahoney, the
all-
whole
That
show
would
would be
take
that
a-
way.
Yeah,
the
literally,
whole
he'd
show.
be. Yeah.
No. Yeah, I'm definitely
else?
buying.
We
I'm-
can barely stream at this house right now. We definitely can't stream on an island.
oof.
Die Hard. Christmas movie.
Die Hard Christmas
Contender.
movie.
Buy or sell?
Contender. Buy it. All of it. Every single one.
Yeah, for sure. I'm cool
Yeah, I
with
think
that.
you buy that.
I think you don't have a choice at this point. To buy
I think
it.
you
it
load up
takes
I
Christmas
think
place
it's.
movies.
on
I,
Christmas.
I do think it's very, very borderline, and I think it's super suspect. But it's. I think it's a contender. I think you have to buy it as a Christmas movie.
Yeah, good call, Reed. Yep.
I'm gonna sell
Is it home?
Yes,
I
it's
don't-
at
I don't
home.
know much about.
Four.
It's at home.
4,000.
4,000. That's not that. That's
How
not
much
that
does the
huge.
stadium fit? Like
Oh, I don't really know.
Yeah, I
Actually,
don't know.
Hunter would know. But
I know my
Look at Reed.
my
I sell that.
sophomore year when it was like what
Four-
was it, Vieira in the state center.
Yeah.
That's
if
That
that's
was
not
a
over
packed
4,000,
house.
I don't want to play because
Yeah.
that was huge
That was
crowd.
crazy.
Will it be that?
They
No,
won't have 4,000 there.
I don't think so.
Hey,
Either.
we have to keep the show going for at least 2 more minutes, so we bring in Thanksgiving. On
Okay,
on
yeah.
the show.
I'm in for that. Somebody else buy or thing,
Ooh.
buy or sell.
Right,
Beverly had
right.
some buy or sells that she wanted to speak out on,
I
but
can't. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Hold on. How do you say play for y'all?
He said
I-
it holds
she didn't
7,500.
comment on it.
yeah. All right, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Go down. 7,500 and how? Well, Clayton, no, and he went to Columbia. I mean, because he doesn't stay here all the time. It's okay. 7,500. No, sell doesn't get there. CHS
nope,
football.
nope, not
Contender
doing
or
that.
pretender?
Buy.
Oh no, we're gonna.
Benton Edge, great football teammate.
Third round of the
Fortnite teammate.
playoffs with the opportunity, and they should win the fourth round or the third round. They're contenders. They're in the third round. They're practicing on Thanksgiving. They should beat Choctaw at home. They have to be contender at this point, correct?
I think that you're right. They do have to be a contender at this point. They do. If you're in the third round and you're playing at home,
They're a
think,
contender. There's only 8 teams left.
I think you have to be a contender. Yeah, you're one win away from going to the Final Four. However, if that offense don't get right, it can end real quick. 20 yards of offense isn't going to cut it.
It wasn't 20.
It was 20.
No, it wasn't.
Read the paper.
It's 44.
Read the paper. It's 20.
In the whole game.
Read the paper. It's 20.
Allegedly.
My man said it wasn't 20. It was 44.
It was double what he said.
Paper said 20, and that was before the kneel downs.
I don't think that's right.
Okay,
I wasn't there. You were there.
I was
Hell,
there.
you know. Was it
I was
20?
there. It wasn't a lot. It's got to be better than it was.
It's okay. They'll get it right.
But I will say
Relax.
this: players make plays. Playmakers make plays. Jaden Robinson had a great game.
Okay. Keep it
Union
moving.
County football. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to. I'm okay. Contender.
Agreed.
Contender. They're well coached always. They're gonna do well. Should be in finals. Lake Wells overrated. Okay, cool. Buy or sell. Embroidering your name.
Sell. Big
Sell.
Big sell.
Hard
Big
sell.
Many moons ago, my wife and young son got this for me. So
Okay.
hard buy.
Look that way.
Yeah.
The other way.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now I'll buy it on the one time for the gift.
It was-
you didn't
it was a
do it
gift.
yourself.
No, I know. I
That
know
would
it
be
was-
so corny.
Actually, I think it was pretty much Benton's idea when he was like 3. So
Okay.
this was early in the Benton life.
Shout out Mahoney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt soon, guys. I'll still
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
I'll still sell it because you're buying it because you're wearing it. And you can just put that in the house somewhere. I'm just kidding. It's a cool. It's a freaking cool hat.
Only had a hat available at the moment that wasn't white in Columbia.
I'm just kidding.
You should make finals. I agree with that.
No, it's one game at a time.
One game at a time. Absolutely. Who do y'all play this week?
Nameless, faceless opponent. We got to be the best version of Union County. Mayo.
That was a Bill Belichick answer.
You like that?
Yeah.
We're on to Mayo.
Good luck to Union County this week.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Good luck to Columbia High School this week as well.
Yeah, for sure. They got Choctaw coming to town.
Yeah.
Not
Former head coach Frank Beasley coming to town. So
I don't know who that is.
he was the interim head coach in 2000 and something.
Also worked for the FHSAA.
Also worked for the FHSAA.
Wife was the principal at Lake Weir High School.
Wow.
Allegedly may have gotten an offer to be a head coach at Lake Weir High School.
Interesting.
It's Thanksgiving, so I'm thankful that Melvin Gordon is no longer a Bronco.
I'm glad we
I
finally
felt
worked that in.
super obliged to say that.
Attaboy.
I'm glad we finally worked that in. Absolutely.
Did you see his reply?
Yes, he's a clown.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure.
I can't talk about it. You're gonna have to get the bleeper ready.
We don't have
can't
any
do
of
the bleeper
those.
live.
It's really
We don't have
hard.
a live bleeper.
Changes things.
Everybody that's still in the chat,
the can
thank you
opens.
for being in here. We're super thankful for all of you guys.
Happy New Year. I was actually thinking that. It has like super New Year vibes.
It does have New Year vibes.
It does,
Where's the
100%.
champagne? Let's crack it. Let's do it.
Yes, it was the 2004 season, Hunter, but it was the 2005 graduating class that had him, Frank. I know that because Scott,
I was on that team. I
Yeah.
was a freshman.
Scott Anderson was the head coach originally. Yep, pulled a guy by the face mask a few times.
It was way worse.
Wait, one of his own players?
Yeah,
Oh, it was way worse.
it was.
way worse.
I was about to say that.
It was
doesn't
not
sound
great,
that
and then
crazy.
No, it
he
was
got
at
fired
practice. It was at
Yeah.
practice, and then he demanded that everybody on the team. He stood this guy out there at like the 10-yard line, and we were running 100 yards, and
Just
he
hit
demanded
him?
that everybody had to hit him. Nobody did.
Yeah,
we
that's
just
not-
ran and ran and ran and ran and ran.
That's not a good
Right.
look.
And then finally, like the last minute, somebody just kind of like, hey, dude, we have to because we're gonna die if we don't.
Yeah.
They kind of like knocked him down, and then he really lost his mind because he knew what happened, and he was fired the next day.
Yeah, and then Frank Beasley took over, and they actually had a decent year that year.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure.
shout out Frank
Was that the year
Beasley.
you
Hopefully
punched
you lose.
in the face for celebrating pregame on the logo?
No, that was my junior year. That was
That would
I
have been
remember you telling us that story at
your
practice.
freshman year when that happened. But
When
yes,
that happened,
I definitely punched him in the face, jumping on our logo junior year, Swanee.
Yeah, I
Yep.
feel like you legitimately told us that the day before the Swanee CHS baseball fight.
It just happened to be the right day.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Thankful for you guys as well that are still in here for sure, and everybody listening. We appreciate it, all of you guys. Long show, but if you've stuck around this long, definitely tell a friend. Hopefully you learned something today, and if not, it's Clayton's fault.
Yep, you're awesome. Be safe. We love you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. That was incredible.